win over Grand Valley last week. That means for these two teams battling today, they're both fighting to stay in the GLIAC title hunt because each of you still have Ferris remaining on your schedule. So there is obviously a path for SVSU and for Davenport to claim a share of the GLIAC title.
Yeah, absolutely. So big stakes today, and so that's what makes it exciting, playing meaningful games in November. That's why you come to Sagniaw Valley, and so we're excited. All of our goals and everything we want to achieve is still out there, and so it's on us. And so our kids are they're excited. It's been a great week, and I think they're going to play very well today.
One of the interesting subplots to this game is the starting quarterback for Davenport is an SVSU alum in Micah Horo, 5 years in the program, got his degree, decided to transfer to Davenport as a graduate transfer. What, if anything, does that do to affect the way that these two teams look at it going into a game that, as we just talked about, has a lot of significance?
Yeah, well, obviously I don't think it plays much of a factor at all, to be honest. We love Mike. Mike's a great kid and got a great family, and he did an awful lot for this program of his time here. And so
The GLIAC invites you to exercise your right to vote in the upcoming national election on Tuesday, November 5th.
If you are a student and cannot get home on election day, make sure to request an absentee ballot.
I'm voting because every person matters. Every voice counts.
I am voting because I want to ensure my voice is heard and be an example for my peers.
Voting is important because democracy depends on everyone's participation.
I'm exercising my right to vote because it fulfills my civic duty.
Voting is important because every person counts and every voice matters.
Voting is important because my opinion matters.
Voting is a right that we're fortunate enough to have as a country. I want my values to be reflected in the scope of civic participation regardless of the outcome.
I am voting because I want to drive change in this country.
I am voting to ensure that my voice is heard, and you should too.
In our run game, and so I think offensively we've been slowly evolving and identifying our identity, and so it's good to see those two guys getting going, and so that's what we need, both of them today to play well and be that 1-2 punch, and so that was the plan from the get-go, and started to see that come to fruition now that Michael Jamerson's healthy.
We're also now late into the season, so Mason McKenzie, yeah, he's a redshirt freshman, but he's also got a lot of game experience under his belt. And last season, he started in this game against Davenport at Davenport, so he's got a lot of experience already playing this particular team. What are you seeing in terms of his progression, in terms of his development as a quarterback now as we head into November?
Yeah, his confidence just continues to grow every game, every practice, every week, and so as well as his leadership. So, Mason's did a great job, and he continues to push himself in practice, and he wants to be the best, and he loves these kind of games and this kind of intensity, and it's going to be a great environment today, and I expect him to play very well.
I would have to imagine, too, that special teams always an important factor. Davenport, special teams is a big part of what they do well. They have blocked 4 kicks on the season. Not that special teams isn't not important in any game, but it seems to me like that's got to be a particular point of emphasis today.
Absolutely. They've got a dynamic return guy, and so do we, and so it's very similar as it was a few weeks ago, the kicking issue we got is sun, and so there's a lot of sun today, and so the punt returners may have a little bit of an issue at some point today, but it's kicking game is going to be critical today. We've really put a big emphasis on special teams this week, more so than other weeks, because we think that's a critical component of this game.
We'll see if that, along with the offense and defense, can all bring the Cardinals a victory today as they take on Davenport. Coach Brady, good luck.
Thanks, JJ.
That's SVSU head football coach Ryan Brady. I'm JJ Boehm. Bill Hobson and I will be back with more in just a moment. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
selection conducted by SVSU Director of Bands, Dr. Norman Nico.
Star-Spangled Banner, as composed by Francis Scott Key. The national anthem for the United States of America, performed here by the SVSU Marching Band under the direction of Norm Wicca. And then also across the field, along the far sideline, a 15-yard long United States flag being carefully marched back to the south end zone, as this is Military Appreciation Day at SVSU, and we thank all of the men and women of our armed forces for all that they do to protect the freedoms that we all enjoy.
Yeah, JJ, I'm thinking especially today of my dad, who is still with us a lot of years ago, where he learned how to cut hair, as you can tell, peel potatoes, sew clothing, and do everything that he was asked to do. And I've always admired him for a lot of things, but his service being one of them. And today, I'm also very thankful for my niece. Her name is Rochelle. Rochelle was an Air Force fighter jet mechanic. She is an Amazon woman who served in all parts of the sandbox around the world. Back home in Virginia earlier this year, she was paralyzed in an accident that was not related to her military service. And so the family is pulling for Rochelle in so many ways. And as we speak, she is being driven from Chicago, a rehab facility, to her home in Virginia. So we are lifting up Rochelle in our prayers and thankful for all of our veterans and all of those who serve this great nation. We have an election coming up in 3 days. They fought for the freedom for us to vote in peace and to have this great country that we do, to do things like today. I mean, this is, JJ, this is Americana at its finest today. Red, white, and blue everywhere. Beautiful, crisp November day for a football showdown against two teams that have championship dreams. And what those folks did in serving our country helps make days like this possible. So it's good to see the camouflage hats everywhere. There's a special edition Cardinal camo hat you'll see popping up quite frequently today. And a lot of folks here, no matter what side of the political aisle they fall on, are grateful for our country.
Absolutely, and SVSU has won quite a number of awards for the services that we provide our military-affiliated students, as they are numerous at SVSU, and SVSU has won state and national awards for the services we provide our military-affiliated students. And again, thankful to allow them the opportunity to pursue their education, as they many times are then returning to civilian life following their service. Other GLIAC football games today. This is a 1 o'clock game, as is the game between Ferris State and Northern Michigan. That one is up in Marquette. That'll also be a 1 o'clock kick. Michigan Tech travels to Roosevelt. That is a 2 o'clock kick. And then Grand Valley hosts Wayne State. That is a 3 o'clock kick today. Also, as we've talked about, a lot on the line for both of these teams. They both come in 6-2 overall, and they both come in 3-1 in GLIAC play. So, again, each of them controls their own destiny to be able to win a share of the GLIAC title, and also very much fighting for the playoffs. And that is going to be a dogfight, because right now, 5 out of the top 7 teams in Division II football are in Super Region 3.
Well, and JJ, one of the things that you would like to think as you come onto the field today, the Cardinals are sending their captains out now. One of the things that would be nice is if you could count on one of your GLIAC opponents to help you a little bit. Well, that's not going to happen today. Ferris is going to Northern Michigan, and Ferris is going to put up a basketball score on Northern. And then back downstate at Grand Valley, Wayne State's not going to go over and knock off the Lakers. We said this last week when we were in downtown Detroit. The Cardinals have control of their own destiny. They can't count on help, but they don't need help if they take care of business. And today is where taking care of business really continues. That theme of taking care of business really continues. They had a good chance at getting Grand Valley here a couple weeks ago. Weren't able to take them down, but they're still in this, very much so.
SVSU and Davenport getting set to do battle today. When we come back, we will have the results of the coin toss and then the kickoff for today's contest. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
So what I have is myself.
StoreMaster Exteriors is your one-stop shop for top-notch windows, roofing, siding, gutters, decks, and installation. StoreMaster will transform your home into the house you've been dreaming of. Their team of installers are fully licensed and insured employees, not subcontractors. StoreMaster delivers exceptional workmanship and unparalleled customer satisfaction. StoreMaster consultants will help you make the right decision for protecting your home and maximizing your value. Financing options are available. Call today for your free estimate.
At Covenant Healthcare, we take caring for kids very seriously. That's why we've established Covenant Children's Hospital. We have the region's only pediatric emergency care center and intensive care unit, and a birth center with a level 3 regional neonatal intensive care unit.
They have stickers!
We're dedicated to providing extraordinary care to infants and children so they can get back to the serious business of being kids.
In a world ravaged by outrageous prices, tormented by aggressive salespeople, and plagued by confusing offers, there is a team of heroes that delivers something better. And better is Garber Nissan in Saginaw, home of the low price guarantee. Need a lower payment? We do it better. Want incredible service? We do it better. Want an easier buying experience? We do it better at Garber Nissan Bay Road, Saginaw.
You'll do better at Garber.
Jets has been making the best Detroit-style pizza on the planet for over 40 years. Because we've always been committed to quality, like hand-pressed dough, fresh mozzarella, and sauce made from Mama Jet's secret family recipe. All baked to perfection for the thickest golden crunch. So go ahead, build your own Detroit-style pizza or order one of our specialties, like the all-meaty or Jet 10. Jets, better because it has to be.
Sorry, I can't help it.
JJ Bain, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium, where the Cardinals have just taken the field to an enthusiastic home crowd on this splendid Saturday afternoon. SVSU won the toss and deferred, and so that will mean SVSU's special teams are on the field first, and they will be kicking off to Antoine Collins, who has already returned 2 kicks, 4 touchdowns this season, including the go-ahead touchdown at Roosevelt, I should say, last week. They are number 2 in all of Division II in kickoff return yard average is Davenport. So this is an early test for the Cardinals special teams on kickoff cover.
That's a great point, JJ, and it's one that we haven't talked about much throughout the season because there hasn't been an opponent that was that highly ranked. We've talked about the offensive strength, we've talked about the Cardinals defense, but in a tight game against 2 teams with the same records, keep an eye on what happens on special teams. That could spell the difference in the game. And by the way, throughout this season and the last 5 games, throughout the games they have played this season, Davenport has 5 one-score games. 5 one-score differentials in this season. That's mind-blowing to me that they have pulled out all 5 of them.
Davenport will line up with Antoine Collins, a junior, a transfer from Winston-Salem State, originally from Capitol Heights, Maryland. The Cardinals will fly from right to left here in the opening quarter. SVSU in their home red jerseys, navy pants, navy helmets with a red Cardinal emblem for SVSU. Davenport in their traveling road white jerseys, black pants, black numbers with red trim, and red Panther emblems on the helmets for Davenport. Rodrigo Castaneda has it teed up at the 35-yard line to get things started for SVSU today. Castaneda with a high, deep, end-over-end kick, and Davenport will let it go through the back of the end zone, and so that will bring Davenport out to the 25-yard line. And again, it will be Mike O'Horo at the controls for Davenport, a 6'1", 220-pound junior, a graduate of SVSU, who spent 5 years in the Cardinal program prior to transferring to Davenport before this season. And Davenport lines up with 3 receivers split wide to the right on first down. Hand off to Harris. He is upended right away by Brandon Rawls. A helmet comes flying out, and there is a first physical confrontation won by SVSU on the opening play from scrimmage.
We've got headgear, ladies and gentlemen. We've got headgear on the field, and the first man who will have to go out for a play is Armani Baskin for Davenport. Just had his helmet come off as the Cardinals were ready for the first carry by the GLIAC's leading rusher. There will be some good matchups today between this front 4 of the Cardinal defensive line and the backfield of Davenport, because the quarterback and the running back are pretty much their offense.
Screen to the near side. It's caught, and nice job picking up some yards after the catch by Kendall Williams, transfer from Wayne State. He picks up about 7, so it is going to be 3rd and 3 coming up for Davenport.
I will be very interested to see Davenport's offensive mindset in the balance between the run and the pass game today. Right now, they look like they're going to go empty backfield, spread everybody out to the far left, and perhaps give O'Horo a little lane to try to run for the first down.
5 receiver package. O'Horo throws to the far side. Can they get a block? No, Micah Kretzinger wraps up the receiver short of the line to gain.
Yeah, you've got to do better than throw it at Micah Kretzinger. I mean, there's game film, right? They get the tapes every week to see that one of the leading tacklers in the nation is dominating at his position. And that time the screen went to the left side of the offense, and Micah was there, and whoever was trying to block him,
it's a wide receiver.
They get an F. They get an F, and they had no chance whatsoever.
I was going to say, a wide receiver is not going to win that matchup with your first-team All-American linebacker. So a quick 3-and-out, very short punt here by Davenport. Terrence Brown does a good job to come up and take the fair catch at the 35-yard line. So 1 minute and 49 seconds into the game, no score. SVSU does its job. Jason McKenzie, 6'1", 190-pound redshirt freshman from Caledonia. So as we talked about in the pregame, he grew up less than 10 minutes from the Davenport campus and did make his college starting debut there last year. Along the offensive line, Sean Chahus, 6'7", 305-pound redshirt sophomore at left tackle. Joe Botello, 6'3", 300-pound junior at left guard. Tyus Thompson, 6'2", 295, a junior at center. Ryan Whiteley, 6'3", 295-pound junior at right guard. Connor Cracchiolo Evans, one of the team captains, 6'4", 295-pound senior at right tackle. Dub Williams expected to get the start at tight end all season, 6'2", 200 pounds, a junior at wide receiver. Terrence Brown coming off a 3-touchdown performance last week, the sophomore running back out of Detroit King will get the start there. Aaron Folks expected to get the start at the slot position, 5'10", 180-pound senior. And then Joe Walker, who has really come on the last few weeks for SVSU, had a touchdown grab last Saturday. He will start at the other wideout position, a 6'3", 202-pound redshirt freshman.
You know, I was out playing golf a couple times this week in the really strong wind, and I was thinking to myself, what would it be like Saturday if we had 25 to 35-mile-an-hour winds? And here we are on a perfectly calm day. JJ, the flag in the end zone is not moving one bit. It is perfect fall football weather. I think I saw one fan here in shorts. They probably have his mental acuity checked here in a little while. But if you're able to dress warm up top, you can make it work. And this is just perfect.
When you're in the sun, it is definitely warmer, and so it feels warmer than about the 50 degrees that it is out there, at least in terms of the air temperature right now.
And in case you're wondering about the little delay there, this game is also being telecast on Flow Sports. We're welcoming all of you who are watching.
Cardinals go with a 2 running back formation as both Terrence Brown and Michael Jamerson in the backfield right now. Handoff goes to Jamerson, trying to run between the tackles. He has stood up.
Kean Betancourt, perhaps the linebacker that got in and really got in the backfield about the time the handoff was made. So no movement whatsoever. It is 2nd and 10.
That 3 receiver package this time on 2nd and 10. McKenzie play action, has a good pocket, has time, now rolls out to his left. Now he's going to get away from pressure. He spins away again, and now Mason McKenzie has all kinds of room to the far side. He's going to take off and run and dives forward to the 29-yard line. Probably ran at least 100 yards to pick up 4.
I was actually trying to calculate for myself how many yards he covered, and I'm going to go with your 100. And there are at least 2 defenders from Davenport who still don't know how they didn't get a sack on that play.
Well, there's a lot of defenders who have been in that position against SVSU this season.
They left them grabbing air.
And McKenzie didn't take any chances with the football, so now SVSU goes.
McKenzie running. And as soon as he broke containment on the pocket, you saw members of the secondary come up to potentially defend against the run, and they didn't see the running back who slipped out of the backfield and was standing all alone on the Davenport sideline, and really good alertness. We've talked about how when a quarterback scrambles, you got to keep your eyes up to spot potential receivers, and McKenzie did a really good job of that.
On 1st down, McKenzie back to pass again. Wanted to go quick. Now he goes to the far side. Incomplete. His first option on that play is where he wanted to go. That was covered. Then he rolled out to his right. And that was a little bit of a dangerous throw right in front of the Davenport bench.
Good teams who have been watching Cardinal tape know that their favorite pass play is the quick hitch hook out on the edges. That's what they were looking to do that time, and the Davenport defense had it covered. They had it smothered, and so McKenzie wisely went away from that read, although he nearly gave him a gift with his second read.
2nd and 10. Folks comes in motion, play action to him. McKenzie is going to fire deep down the middle, has a man. It's caught! Joe Walker inside the 5-yard line. Beautiful pass from McKenzie, lofted it up. Walker, the redshirt freshman, runs underneath it, and now the Cardinals will have it 1st and goal.
It was pretty good coverage by Justin White out of Los Angeles, California. He was right on Walker, but the pass could not have been thrown better. And Walker has emerged, I think, as one of the most dangerous weapons in the GLIAC. His hands have been rock steady throughout this season.
1st and goal from the 5. McKenzie keeps it himself, makes a cut, dives forward, gets down to the 3. Davenport did a very good job of closing the hole because they opened it up between right tackle and right guard, and McKenzie saw it, but before he could get through it, Davenport did a good job reacting and holding him to a gain of just a yard.
Yeah, Jamar Mills with an ankle tackle swipe from behind. He actually had overrun the play and, in a really athletic move, dove backwards and just swiped his arms at McKenzie's ankles and got him.
Now 2nd and goal from the 4. McKenzie, play action, rolling to his right, rolling. Almost lost his footing. Now he's going to throw it out of bounds. So that will leave SVSU to fight another day.
That was the turf monster trying to get Mason McKenzie to the ground. He was rolling, sprinting to his right. There were defenders in hot pursuit. And as he tried to change directions, almost bit it back at the 15-yard line. So Mason's balance wins the day, and the Cardinals now looking at 3rd and goal from the 4.
Cardinals not changing personnel here, and that also means Davenport can't change personnel.
They could, but they'd have to hurry Because if you catch them in a switchover, you can get them for too many men on the field.
So 2 tight ends in the game right now for SVSU. McKenzie drops back to pass on 3rd down. He's under pressure, and he is sacked all the way back at the 20-yard line. And that's one of those situations you've got to know enough not to let that happen, because you just gave up 15 yards, making this a much more difficult field goal.
When I get the ball 1st and 10, 1st and goal, I'm a big fan of a dominant running game, punching that thing in the end zone. The Cardinals went with 3 pass plays.
Well, they did run it on
first down. They went 2 pass plays after that, and both of them were a little nerve-wracking, to say the least.
So this is going to be a 37-yard attempt from the left hash for Sagniaw Valley. Does take the lead, 3-0, 8:49 to play first quarter. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Three national championships and countless more individual championships.
Throughout the GLIAC, passionate fans come support our athletes in 21 NCAA-sponsored sports.
Just as important as being champions on the field.
The pool.
The court. The course.
The track.
GLIAC student athletes are champions in the classroom and the community.
The GLIAC is.
The GLIAC is.
The GLIAC is.
The Conference of Champions.
Better is an everyday effort at Garber Chevrolet in Saginaw. Everything we do with better in mind. Better prices, payments, and selection. They're a big part of it, but not the whole picture. We're constantly improving to be a better place to shop, get service, and work.
See Garber Chevrolet in Saginaw and get a better payment on a new Chevy Silverado or better savings on a new Chevy Equinox.
The relentless pursuit of better. That's Garber Chevrolet, Gratiot Road in Saginaw, home of the low price guarantee.
The Detroit formula for making something great is simple. Hard work. Make it good, then make it better. Better, like Jets Detroit-style pizza. Jets. Better, because it has to be.
If you want a career that requires a college degree, the clock starts now. And while time marches on, keep in mind that 97% of our students find their career when they graduate. The choice is yours. The time is now. The school is SVSU.
Consistently throughout this season.
On that possession, which was 9 plays long, the Cardinals attempted at least to pass on probably 6 or 7 of them. Not that it worked every time, and as they got down near the end zone, they stuck with that passing mindset. I will expect that they look to establish the run on their next possession, but if the defense can continue what it did on its first series, forcing Davenport into a 3-and-out, you'll take that all day long. Davenport currently has had the ball for like 1 minute and 17 seconds in the game.
Castaneda has it teed up at the 35, and he really boots this one. But Davenport is going to try to bring it out. Collins from his own goal line brings it to the near side. It's well blocked. He gets a lane and gets out across the 35-yard line. 2 penalty flags, however, coming in on the play. 1 from the near sideline, 1 from the far side of the field. So while it was a good return by Davenport, with the penalties, I've got to think this is going to go against the Panthers.
I saw the block in the back on the near side of the field. I'm not sure about the flag that came in from all the way across. Well, having the officials conference here to sort everything out, I do know this. It will be marching to our left, which is the way Davenport does not want to go.
Holding, receiving team number 89. 10 yards from the end of the run. First down, Davenport.
So a holding call against Davenport, and that is going to back up the Panthers, who again, they are the second leading kickoff return unit in the nation for Division II football. That has helped them to good starting field position consistently, but now with that penalty, Davenport's going to be beginning this possession at its own 22-yard line. 8:42 to play first quarter, SVSU leading 3-0. O'Horo, high snap, wants to throw, comes to the near side, finds Harris out of the backfield. He's shoved out of bounds by Rawls. So a good job by O'Horo finding his check down receiver, Myron Harris, the running back, and he picks up about 5.
Harris listed at 5'11", 220, a redshirt senior. He is a load, my friend. I mean, he gets out in the open field, and if you're a safety, you're going to want to go very, very low on that tackle.
Gain of 5 sets up 2nd and 5. Tight formation for Davenport this time. And O'Horo will hand to Harris, running between the tackles. Good job by the SVSU front 4. And then Micah Krutzinger, the linebacker, comes in to make the tackle after a gain of a yard, maybe 2.
We have seen throughout the season teams attempt to run between the tackles against the Cardinal defense, and it's largely not worked. They're very, very strong right up the middle. Either some deception or speed around the edge, at least in my experience this year, has been the only way to run the ball on the Cardinal defense.
Davenport with its 2nd, 3rd and 3 of the game, the first time the Cardinals made the stop. Harris leaves the backfield, empty set, 4-man rush, pass is tipped and incomplete. One of the defensive linemen for SVSU got a fingertip on it. Pass was intended for Kendall Williams, and so for the 2nd time today, Davenport with a quick 3 and out.
Defense isn't going to need to shower at this rate. 3 plays in, go to the sidelines for 7 minutes of actual real time, and then come back out. Great start for this Cardinal defense.
So Davenport, 2 possessions, 2 3 and outs. And now Davenport will bring out the punt unit. This is another very low kick. Terrence Brown can't field it, and so Davenport's going to let it roll, and it's going to take a favorable roll for Davenport. SVSU will have to start at about their own 27-yard line, but 7:17 to play here in the first quarter. SVSU already leading 3-0, and the offense now back on the field.
Terrence Brown coming out in the backfield this time. Jamerson was the featured back on the prior possession. I do expect to see a little more emphasis on the ground game, but we'll all experience this together and find out if my read on this is correct.
Cardinals' big play on the first drive was the 38-yard completion to Joseph Walker. Dub Williams goes in motion to the far side. Toss to Brown running to the far side. He finds a little bit of a crease and is able to push his way out to the 30, maybe the 31-yard line. This is a good Davenport defensive unit, especially up front.
I was looking at that front 4 size-wise. They feature Gramonte Peck, who comes in at 6'4", 305. I believe that officially makes him eligible to be considered a human eclipse.
He definitely knows how to plug the A-gap.
He is the A-gap.
McKenzie throws to the far side. It's caught by Walker and almost breaks the tackle. He does get away enough to pick up the first down.
And that's the play that we talked about on the first possession. It's snap, 1-step drop, zip it out to the right side. And unless the defense is aware that that play is in your arsenal, they're not going to have time to get over and cover it. And if they take the risk of getting in too tight on it, a pump fake and your receiver can go past them.
On first down here, McKenzie keeps it himself, lane up the middle, slides down. Where did he start that slide? They'll say at the 43-yard line, but that's still good for a 5-yard pickup. And it's going to definitely cause the Davenport defense to have to watch both the slot man who came in motion that time, as well as the running back and the...
Just took right off.
They officially give him a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. And now McKenzie hands it off to Brown, running between the tackles, got a yard, but that is all. And so another 3rd down coming up for SVSU. 5:30 to play first quarter, SVSU leading 3-0.
And this could be a day where neither team has great success between the tackles on the ground game. But the Cardinals have kept it on the ground on this possession, and now on 3rd and 4, let's see if they decide to go back to the air.
3-receiver package. McKenzie from the shotgun. Blitz coming. Cardinals pick it up. He's looking for Terrence Brown, and he slipped. They were trying Terrence Brown on the wheel route out of the backfield. It was thrown a little bit more into the field of play than I think Terrence Brown was expecting, and then he went to try to adjust. He could not quite get there. You also see Mason McKenzie wait to give him a slap, a high five coming off the field because he knows that could have been a better pass.
We've seen a couple of loose-footed moments here so far. I didn't sense anything when I was down on the turf earlier. It's just guys getting tangled up. And in both instances, the Cardinals come up on the short end of the turf battle.
Justin White deep to receive for Davenport. Angled kick to the near side by the left-footed punter Tyler McCoon, and it'll go out of bounds at the 25-yard line. No return. And so Davenport will begin its third possession, trailing 3-0, and still looking for its first down.
You know, we always do the tale of the tape in the pregame show, and I didn't really do that. On the season, the Cardinals have scored 30.8 points a game, Davenport 22.8. Right now we're looking at 3-0 with two-thirds of the opening quarter gone, so a very slow start offensively for both teams. Or strong start defensively if you're a fan of strong defense.
O'Horo from the pistol this time. Play action, wants to go deep. Now he's going to be pressured, throws back over the middle, off the hands of his intended receiver, Collins. O'Horo was rolling to his left and backpedal and had a lot of heat on that one, and Antoine Collins couldn't haul it in.
I think Antoine Collins may have heard DJ Volts approaching, and the arms got a little less enthusiastic about extending away from the body. That ball was catchable for sure.
So that makes it 2nd and 10 for Davenport from their own 25-yard line.
Davenport, by the way, on defense, allowing 326 yards per game to their opponents.
Play action. That time, and it was a well-thrown ball.
Javian Tomlinson yardage had he caught it, but he didn't catch it.
Well, this is not where Davenport wants to find themselves. 3rd and long in an obvious passing situation. They are a run-first team, and they will mix in the pass to keep you honest. But now, on 3rd and 10, it's pretty obvious what the Panthers need to do. O'Horo drops back to pass. 4-man rush, throws to the far side. It's caught, but I don't think he got enough for the first down.
Kind of drop back in a looser zone. Keep everything in front of you. Keep it short of the sticks. Put a little pressure on the quarterback. And it is indeed a yard short. And here comes the punt unit again for the Panthers.
So again, the Cardinals, as you said, they dropped back. They knew what the line to gain was. Antoine Collins did not quite get to it. And he picks up 9, but Davenport needed 10. So the punt unit already out for the 3rd time today. Alec Wojan gets away a low end-over-end kick, and it bounces straight up in the air. Now it takes a Davenport roll down to the 25-yard line.
It's a copy and paste. 3 straight punts. Same thing happens on all 3 of them, and almost the same starting position for SVSU.
3:55 to play first quarter. SVSU leads 3-0. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Your college experience is waiting. It's time to compete, time to learn, time to laugh, and time to unite. It's time to call the highest ranked dorms in the country home. The choice is yours. The time is now. The school is SVSU.
At Garber Buick, better is a daily effort. We start every day with better in mind. Better prices, payments, and selection. That's a big part of it, but not the whole picture. We're constantly improving to be a better place to shop, get service, and work. See Garber Buick in Saginaw and get a better payment on a new Buick Encore or Envision. The relentless pursuit of better. That's Garber Buick. State Street in Saginaw. Online, GarberBuick.com. Home of the low price guarantee.
Jets has been making the best Detroit-style pizza on the planet for over 40 years. Because we've always been committed to quality, like hand-pressed dough, fresh mozzarella, and sauce made from Mama Jet's secret family recipe. All baked to perfection for the thickest golden crunch. So go ahead, build your own Detroit-style pizza or order one of our specialties, like the all-meaty or Jet 10. Jets, better because it has to be.
StoreMaster Exteriors is your one-stop shop for top-notch windows, roofing, siding, gutters, decks, and installation. StoreMaster will transform your home into the house you've been dreaming of. Their team of installers are fully licensed and insured employees, not subcontractors. StoreMaster delivers exceptional workmanship and unparalleled customer satisfaction. StoreMaster consultants will help you make the right decision for protecting your home and maximizing your value. Financing options are available. Call today for your free estimate.
It's time to take advantage of the lowest tuition of any state school in Michigan. A school where 90% of our students receive scholarships or grants. The choice is yours. The time is now. The school is SVSU.
3 and outs on defense and have the chance here now to go down and make this at least a 2-score game.
Cardinals take over at their own 25-yard line, leading 3-0. 4-receiver package for the Cardinals this time. Now they bring the tight end in motion. Toss to Brown, running to the right side. Nice stutter step move. Finds a lane, still on his feet, out across the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 16 by Terrence Brown.
And that's what we talked about earlier. The success may very well need to be out on the edges. And let's give credit to the tight ends and receivers who are blocking out there to seal off a little bit of extra space and an alleyway, and a really good pickup for Brown.
On first down, McKenzie throws to the far side, caught by Walker, trying to spin out of the tackle, cannot do it, but does pick up 5 or 6 yards to the far side. That is already the 3rd catch here in the first quarter by the redshirt freshman out of Indianapolis, Joe Walker.
And somebody will probably get in Walker's ear and tell him, when you make that catch, secure that ball. He had it held out there as if he were reaching for an extra yard, and the ball actually got flung into the Davenport bench. That could be a real problem if you try that later on and it stays in the field of play.
McKenzie keeps it himself, bounces off one would-be tackler, and gets out near midfield. Looks like they'll mark him a yard short of that at the SVSU 49-yard line.
Cardinal offense now subs in a little bit of beef in the form of Dub Williams at tight end. Leads me to believe that they may look to move this ball forward and grab a first down via the ground game.
Terrence Brown stays in at running back. Cardinals go with a 2-receiver package this time. Walker split wide to the left, and Kraft is in the slot to the left. And McKenzie tosses it to Brown, looking for a lane, breaks through, Terrence Brown into the secondary, inside the 40, finally knocked out of bounds near the SVSU 35-yard line. Not a huge hole that time, but Brown did an outstanding job making the most of it, and the Cardinals convert.
And kind of as I thought, they brought in Dub Williams to throw a big block on the end. He did just that, although Dub got up limping and comes off of the field. Another good pickup, and boy, Brown's having some real good success on the edges on this drive.
Now Jamerson will check in for him. We've also got a timeout taken by Saginaw Valley. Minute 50 to play first quarter. SVSU leads 3-0. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football. Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium. Beautiful sunny Saturday afternoon. Game time temperature around 50 degrees. It's been a good first quarter so far for the home Cardinals as they lead 3-0. And they have it 1st and 10 at the Davenport 34-yard line. Here, handoff to Jamerson. No, McKenzie keeps it himself, and he's able to slide down at the 30-yard line. Good decision on the read option. And then one of the things we've seen from Mason McKenzie the last couple of weeks is he is sliding to avoid taking the hit much more so than he did through the first half of the season.
Yeah, he probably went down earlier on that slide than he had to, but better safe than sorry, and there's nothing wrong with a 4-yard pickup. Terrence Brown, by the way, now 4 carries, 38 yards. That's 9.5 yards per carry. We'll see a lot more of him probably later in this drive, but Jamerson has come in after the second long run by Brown.
2nd and 6. And McKenzie will keep it himself again, breaks one tackle, dives forward, and it looks like he does have enough for the first down.
He didn't slide that time. That was head first attack by the quarterback. He's really gifted at seeing small creases, small openings in a very crowded area and quickly getting through them. That's one of the things I most enjoy watching when Mason McKenzie runs the ball.
1st and 10 from the Davenport 21. McKenzie drops back to pass, fires deep. He's got a man wide open in the corner, but he cannot catch it in the field of play. McKenzie really backpedaled away from the line of scrimmage. That made that a much longer and more difficult pass. Kraft had gotten open, but he could not catch it in the field of play.
If Mason had been able to set his feet a beat earlier on that route, it's an easy touchdown, but they ran out of real estate. By the time he recognized that Kraft was wide open, he was too close to the sidelines.
Cardinals taking their breath here. 32 seconds to play first quarter. SVSU leads 3-0. It is 2nd and 10 from the Davenport 21-yard line. McKenzie, this time will give it on the end around to the near side to Folks, and he's going to get down near the 17-yard line, so gain of about 5.
Okay, that's where the running back has to return the favor for his receiver in blocking. Jamerson was out front of that play and had a chance to grab the corner and set his receiver free for more yards. Kind of whiffed on the block, to be honest with you. The Cardinals didn't get as much out of it as they could have.
That is the final play of the first quarter. SVSU leading 3-0. They'll have it on 3rd down. When we return, you are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Fans represented to the video board. Today.
StormMaster Exteriors is your one-stop shop for top-notch windows, roofing, siding, gutters, decks, and installation. StormMaster will transform your home into the house you've been dreaming of. Their team of installers are fully licensed and insured employees, not subcontractors. StormMaster delivers exceptional workmanship and unparalleled customer satisfaction. StormMaster consultants will help you make the right decision for protecting your home and maximizing your value. Financing options are available. Call today for your free estimate.
At Covenant Healthcare, we take caring for kids very seriously. That's why we've established Covenant Children's Hospital. We have the region's only pediatric emergency care center and intensive care unit, and a birth center with a level 3 regional neonatal intensive care unit.
They have stickers!
We're dedicated to providing extraordinary care to infants and children so they can get back to the serious business of being kids.
In a world ravaged by outrageous prices, tormented by aggressive salespeople, and plagued by confusing offers, there is a team of heroes that delivers something better. And better is Garber Nissan in Saginaw, home of the low price guarantee. Need a lower payment? We do it better. Want incredible service? We do it better. Want an easier buying experience? We do it better at Garber Nissan Bay Road, Saginaw.
You'll do better at Garber.
Jets has been making the best Detroit-style pizza on the planet for over 40 years because we've always been committed to quality, like hand-pressed dough, fresh
Defense starts to get a little winded. Remember how dominant the Cardinals have been in possessing the ball early.
On 3rd down, McKenzie throws underneath, caught by his tight end, McCoon, and I don't think he got enough for the first down. Good open field tackle made that time by Ralph Donaldson, the defensive back for Davenport, and quick decision by Ryan Brady to send out the field goal unit.
I kind of thought maybe they maybe give it some more thought, but it is 4th and a full 3, maybe a short 4.
Again, McCoon was open, made the catch, had one-on-one, but good play by Donaldson in the open field to make the tackle. So 2nd field goal attempt of the day coming up for Castaneda. This will be a 32-yard attempt.
Oh boy.
And it's a bad snap, and Davenport is able to recover.
I thought there might be a flag down. The Cardinals are pointing at the offsides that definitely took place on the right side of the defensive front for the Panthers. There's no yellow down, JJ, which is remarkable.
Now, the only thing could be is if he was far enough away from the line of scrimmage that when he made all that forward movement, he never got in the neutral zone.
Wow, that was a different play than I saw because that was offsides. I kept waiting to see yellow come out. Instead, we talked earlier about how special teams could be the difference in the game. The Cardinals make the first special teams error.
On 1st down, handoff to Harris, bounces off one tackle, and then a good job by Christian Ellison to ride him out of bounds after a short gain.
Coach Brady, though, has a very valid point. That not only was offsides, that was a free 1st down.
The defense quickly out on the field. Now they understand it's their responsibility to try to not allow Davenport to gain any momentum from that play.
And I will say that the offsides did not cause the snap to be dropped. That was an error on the Cardinals' part.
2nd and 7. O'Horo passing to the far side, has a man open, makes the catch, and Davenport has its first down today. Now a late penalty flag comes in. Kendall Williams made the catch. He picked up the first down on the play.
Flag was on the very far sidelines, right in the Davenport bench area. Cardinals are pointing against the Panthers. I don't have the slightest idea what this is. Looked like a clean tackle, out in space, driven out of bounds.
There's no foul on the play for a face mask. First down, Davenport.
Apparently there was not a face mask, even though there was a flag for a face mask. So,
well, the official who threw it was a long way from the play, and so after he conferred with his fellow officials, they decided not to call anything. Davenport, however, does convert and picks up its first down of the day. 13:27 to play, second quarter. SVSU leading 3-0. Davenport has it 1st and 10 from their own 37. Toss to the near side, and Micah Kretzinger blows up the block and blows up the play. The All-American linebacker out of Jackson making a huge tackle for loss.
You know, the receiver assigned to blocking Kretzinger, Preston Smith, 6'4", 215 senior, is experienced in his responsibility in that play. He completely matadored. It was Ole, and Kretzinger went past him basically untouched, and in fact we're going to see, I believe, Mr. Smith. Oh, I thought he was going to the sidelines. Instead, he's spread out far to the right. He won't want to watch the game film session of that particular play.
2nd and 13 now. O'Horo back to pass, throws to the far side, incomplete. His receiver cut in to the middle of the field. The pass was thrown outside to the boundary.
Yeah, that was Smith again. Smith ran an kind of a hard cut post, and the play went to the boundary, and the only one with any proximity to that ball was a Cardinal defender.
So now it's a 3rd and 13 coming up for Davenport. Great opportunity for the SVSU defense here. Cardinals line up with Alfred Daly, the middle linebacker, in the A-gap, and he is going to rush. O'Horo facing pressure, throws it underneath, and it's picked off by Micah Kretzinger. Here he goes along the far side. Micah Kretzinger with a huge interception for Saginaw Valley.
That was a great catch. I mean, yes, it was a great play, but he went up high to grab that ball over the middle of the field. It had slightly sailed over the receiver, and I don't know how Micah, how he got the Spider-Man skills that he has, but he went up and grabbed that like he was an all-star receiver and returns it all the way back down to the 17-yard line, and the Cardinals are in business.
Huge play by the All-American linebacker.
Man, that was a good catch.
For SVSU. And as you said, he's in the right spot, and then when the pass is a little bit off target, he showed his athletic ability and is able to advance it on the interception return down to the Davenport 17.
He's just special. That is a special player.
And here, it's a reverse to Folks. He's got some blockers. He's inside the 10, and he's going to be close to first down yardage. So that time they faked the handoff to Brown.
A fun play.
Folks came on the long end around, and he did pick up the first down.
The final defender, Diamond Evans, kept that out of the end zone, but that was a really, really fun misdirection trick play by the Cardinals.
Handoff to Brown, dives forward, and he's all the way down to the 1. And Mason McKenzie, he is just hopping. He wants to get this ball snapped as soon as he can. His offensive line is really controlling the point of attack right now. 2nd and goal from the 1. McKenzie hands off to Brown again. On second effort, he's in. Touchdown, Saginaw Valley.
They snapped that ball with 28 seconds still to go on the play clock. You were not exaggerating when you said Mason wanted to snap that ball now, and the Cardinals make it a 2-score game.
You could just see what I saw from Mason McKenzie is he's like, Right now, my offensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage.
They're running downhill.
Why delay any longer than necessary to get this play off? And so the Cardinals capitalize on the turnover. Brown punches it in, and now Castaneda coming on to try the extra point. Kick is on the way, and it is good. So SVSU now on top, 10-0. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
The GLIAC is the Conference of Champions. Since its inception in 1972, GLIAC teams have won 53 national championships and countless more individual championships.
Throughout the GLIAC, passionate fans come support our athletes in 21 NCAA-sponsored sports.
Just as important as being champions on the field.
The pool.
The court. The course.
The track.
GLIAC student athletes are champions in the classroom and the community.
The GLIAC is.
The GLIAC is.
The GLIAC is.
The Conference of Champions.
Better is an everyday effort at Garber Chevrolet in Saginaw. Everything we do with better in mind. Better prices, payments, and selection. They're a big part of it, but not the whole picture. We're constantly improving to be a better place to shop, get service, and work.
See Garber Chevrolet in Saginaw and get a better payment on a new Chevy Silverado or better savings on a new Chevy Equinox.
The relentless pursuit of better. That's Garber Chevrolet, Gratiot Road in Saginaw. Home of the low price guarantee.
The Detroit formula for making something great is simple. Hard work. Make it good, then make it better. Better, like Jets Detroit-style pizza. Jets. Better, because it has to be.
If you want a career that requires a college degree, the clock starts now. And while time marches on, keep in mind that 97% of our students find their career when they graduate. The choice is yours. The time is now. The school is SVSU.
Your husband is having a heart attack. The ambulance crew asks,
Which hospital?
before you answer, consider this. Covenant Healthcare is the region's most preferred hospital for both emergency and heart care. With heart disease program.
Take us to Covenant.
Good answer.
Now is 12-10 to 6-10. The Cardinals have been in control of every aspect of this game so far.
Cardinals fly from left to right here in the second quarter in their home red jerseys and navy pants.
Total yards 132 to 36.
Castaneda gets a high end-over-end kick here, and Davenport will bring it out from their own 3-yard line, finding a little bit of a crease, and then finally brought down shy of the 30-yard line as Jordan Trowers comes in to make the tackle after the return by Davenport.
7 first downs for the Cardinals, 1 for the Panthers. In what has been a dominating defensive performance thus far, I will be very interested to see if Davenport tries to do a little bit more with their running back, who have
Davenport goes from the pistol this time. They've changed quarterbacks. They do hand off to Harris, and he gets maybe a yard on the play, as now in at quarterback is Mac Vandenhout, a 6', 195-pound redshirt freshman out of Rockford, Michigan. Harris, prior to that carry, 4 carries for just 2 yards. That one, it looks like they'll give him a gain of 2, but it has been tough sledding for Davenport in the run game.
JJ, they gave us what we call 2 deeps, which shows you the first 2 players at every position. Vandenhout, not one of them.
On second down, he drops back to pass. Now he's going to try to take off and run. He avoids one ankle tackle, and then Kretzinger and Daly combine on the tackle at about the 36-yard line after a gain of 5.
He's a redshirt freshman out of Rockford, Illinois, and Mr. Mac Vandenhout will be well advised to learn how to slide, because he went in head first against Micah Kretzinger that time, and that's not a recipe for staying in the game for the entire game.
So 3rd and 3 coming up. Davenport going from the pistol again, and 3 receivers split wide to the right. Vandenhout throws to the far side, and a great job by the Cardinals defensively as they diagnose it, and then they make the play. Jasper Beeler read it all the way and makes a big tackle for loss.
And the required block that time was supposed to be thrown by Preston Smith, the wide receiver. We talked about him on the prior series. So far, blocking has not been his strong suit. He whiffed on another block attempt, and they end up losing yards on a completed pass.
So Davenport still with only 1 first down on the day.
They might take the receiver screen out of their playbook.
Hasn't worked so far. SVSU leading 10-0. Coming with the block. They almost get it. High knuckling kick, and SVSU's got to get away from it now, and they do. And it is going to be down inside the 20-yard line, and Terrence Brown saying he couldn't see it.
Yes.
They wanted him to call for the fair catch, and you can see Terrence Brown as he comes to the sideline saying, hey, I couldn't see it. Ryan Brady talked about that in the pregame warm-ups, or in the pregame interview, I should say, about how looking into the sun could be problematic today, and it certainly appeared to have affected Brown on that play.
I totally get why the coaches would be yelling at him. You got a fair catch that. You can't let it hit the ground because it was a super high punt. It was a really good punt. And by hitting the ground, it did cost the Cardinals about 15 yards of field position. But if you can't see the ball, you're going to have an awfully hard time making the fair catch. So I kind of feel for Brown on that one.
SVSU leading 10-0, 9:22 to play.
By the way,
first half.
Sorry to interrupt you, JJ. There's a really, really good home crowd here today.
Yes, there is.
It looks like it's completely full. The student section's representing pretty well, and it's T-shirt cannon time, so everybody is jazzed and ready to go. But I love to see the home team get supported like this, especially when there's only one more home game left the entire season. That'll be the finale against Michigan Tech here in a few weeks.
The one other GLIAC game in progress, Ferris State on the road leading Northern Michigan 14-2. So
nice.
Northern Michigan is on.
There goes the shutout.
Correct. Again, Ferris State getting the 34-7 win at Grand Valley last week.
How surprised were you by that?
By the margin,
yeah,
definitely.
Same here.
The outcome, not as much. You and I were here. I mean, Grand Valley gave everything they had to win that game at SVSU 2 weeks ago. And it's just hard to bring that 2 weeks in a row with that same level of intensity and execution for 60 minutes. And you and I were listening to that one on the drive back from Wayne State. You know, Grand Valley got a touchdown on its opening drive of the third quarter to pull within one score, but then Ferris State had a big kickoff return down near the red zone. They scored on that. They blocked a punt and scored again.
It was a whooping.
And that game was never close after that. On first down here, toss to the near side. Here comes Jamerson. He's got some room. He lowers his shoulder. He's out across the 30-yard line, and the Cardinals move the chains.
Christian Jones, the strong safety, came up as the last stop between Jamerson and the end zone, and he paid a price because Michael was ready for that contact. You could hear the crowd kind of all collectively give out a ooh.
And I'll tell you what, the toss sweep has been working for SVSU here in the first half.
Well, and it traces back to, I think, the second series of the game. We talked about how running between the tackles doesn't seem to be a productive route for the running game, but maybe around the edges. So, again, we're going to credit tight ends and tackles for what they're doing on the edges.
On first down, handoff to Jamerson again.
They are having to save touchdowns against the run. That's not a good day for your defense. That time the cornerback, Diamond Evans, came up and barely got enough of Jamerson to bring him down. He'll come out of the game now to catch his breath, and Terrence Brown will come back in. But the Cardinals' ground attack has caught fire.
All the way down to the Davenport 39. SVSU already leading 10-0. 8 minutes to play first half. McKenzie, read option, and now he's going to try to reverse field. He does. He's inside the 40, inside the 30. He's going to pick up the first down. That play, everything was designed to go to the left. McKenzie saw there wasn't anything there, and that is just pure speed to make something out of nothing.
That was a busted play, the very definition of a busted play. And if you caught the still photo at the right moment, you would have seen two Davenport defenders in midair leaping at his heels in the backfield, wondering, where'd the guy go? He was just here a second ago.
On first down, McKenzie wants to go to the air. He's got a man wide open inside the 10. It's McCoon. He's going to be out of bounds at the 2. Beautiful play design, well executed. The Cardinals will have it first and goal.
You talk about a difficult throw to make. McKenzie from outside the right hash throws it all the way to the left sideline down near the pylon. That pass was not easy, and it was right on the money. McCoon gets driven out of bounds after another big Cardinal gain. This time through the air. They've been doing everything on the ground, and they caught the defense kind of playing run.
Hand off to Jamerson, and he is down at the 1. So he picks up, and he says, I want it again.
Yeah, he's not coming out.
He just made that motion to the sideline.
This is where Brown's thinking, maybe I'll go in now. And Jamerson's like, not a chance. I'm going to finish this one off.
Second and goal from the 1. McKenzie gives it to Jamerson off the left side, and he did not get in. Good job by Davenport on second and third effort, because Jamerson did not go down easily, but he did not get in.
And Mason McKenzie has every right to be livid at what Cameron Grouthouse just did to him. Yeah, there was a handoff, and then Mason tries to carry out the fake of it. And Grouthouse comes back, picks him up, and body slams him on his throwing shoulder right at the feet of the head referee. I don't know why that's an okay play, but it could have injured Mason McKenzie easily.
Devereaux checks in at quarterback. And he will keep it himself. Goes to the left side, dives for it, still on his feet, and does not get in. So they brought in Brady Devereaux, the 240-pound linebacker who has become the short yardage quarterback. He didn't get in, and so now it's going to be 4th and goal from the 1.
I don't see any light-up changes for this play. Devereaux remains in as the Wildcat quarterback.
Austin Bills is in at running back. Devereaux keeps it himself again, runs to the left side. This time, he's in on 4th down. Touchdown, Sagniaw Valley. So the Cardinals took a couple of plays longer than they might have liked, but on 4th and goal from the 1, Brady Devereaux, the local product out of Hemlock High School, punches it in, and the Cardinals are taking a 3-score lead at home over Davenport.
That was an impressive drive. That had a little bit of everything in it, including the Wildcat formation twice inside the 2.
Extra point from Castaneda is good. So SVSU now leads 17-0, 5:22 to play first half. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Better payments, better service. You will do better at Garber Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bay Road in Saginaw. Getting a better payment on your new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram truck is a big part of how you'll do better, but it's not the whole picture. Garber is constantly improving to be a better place to shop, get service, and work, because being better is a daily effort. The relentless pursuit of better. That's Garber Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bay Road in Saginaw. Online, garbercdjr.com.
At Covenant Healthcare, we take caring for kids very seriously. That's why we've established Covenant Children's Hospital. We have the region's only pediatric emergency care center and intensive care unit, and a birth center with a level 3 regional neonatal intensive care unit.
They have stickers!
We're dedicated to providing extraordinary care to infants and children so they can get back to the serious business of being kids.
Your college experience is waiting. It's time to compete, time to learn, time to laugh, and time to unite. It's time to call the highest ranked dorms in the country home. The choice is yours. The time is now. The school is SVSU.
The Detroit formula for making something great is simple. Hard work. Make it good. Then make it better. Better, like Jets Detroit-style pizza. Jets. Better, because it has to be.
And they have looked very much like they understand what is at stake for SVSU, where with a win today, the Cardinals will be able to go to Ferris State next Saturday, and if the Cardinals can get the win on the road, then they will control their own destiny for a share of the GLIAC title. Rodrigo Castaneda has it teed up at the 35-yard line. Breeze has picked up a little bit, helping a little bit, and also pushing it towards the near sidelines. Kendall Williams fields it at his own 7-yard line, and he does a good job breaking the first tackle and finally shoved out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Again, Davenport, number 2 in the nation, coming into this one in Division II football on the kickoff return. That's a solid return and gives Davenport decent starting field position. However, as you said, Bill, Davenport so far with just 1 first down on the day.
The problem for Davenport has not been their field position. They just haven't been able to go anywhere from it. They've started around the 30 or between the 20 and the 30 all day, but 1 first down is not going to get it done.
Vandenhout back in at quarterback, drops back to pass. He's going to fire deep down the middle. There is good coverage there, and it is almost intercepted as Jasper Beeler had the best shot to catch that football, and he had outstanding coverage on Preston Smith that time.
Yeah, they were locked up in a one-on-one matchup, step for step. The wind kind of grabbed that ball a little bit and drove it from the left shoulder of the receiver to the right shoulder of the defender. It would have been a difficult catch for either of them to make, and that's the first time we've seen Davenport at least attempt something deep down the field.
Now 2nd and 10. Vandenhout gives it to his man on the end around. Sagniaw Valley is all over it, and this is going to be a big loss on the play. They tried to get it to Antoine Collins. Well, they did get it to Antoine Collins, but he never had a chance.
He had nobody blocking for him at all. It was a naked reverse, and there were 3 Cardinals waiting for him as a special welcoming party. I'm a little bewildered by the quarterback change, to be honest with you.
I am as well. Vandenhout does not have a lot of experience. You're on the road against one of the top defenses in the nation in Division II football. This is a tough situation to put in a redshirt freshman.
Well, Horo threw a pick to an All-American linebacker who's probably going to play at the next level.
Pass thrown underneath here. Good job by Saginaw Valley to react to it. Preston Smith makes the catch, but then SVSU's Jordan Trowers is right there for minimal gain. And so Davenport still with just 1 first down here in the first half.
That is another 3 and out. That is another time that the Davenport defense finally catching their breath over on the sidelines. Somebody has to go wake them up and say, hey, fellas, grab your helmets. You're heading back out here in a moment.
Good snap. And this is a line drive punt. Terrence Brown at his own 25-yard line makes one man miss and then is buried under at the 28-yard line. Good downfield coverage by Davenport that time. However, Terrence Brown does secure it, and SVSU's offense is going to come out there. 3:43 to play in the half, and SVSU already leading 17-0.
Well, I don't want to jump ahead of myself, JJ, but you have a chance in many ways, it kind of feels like, to kind of put this game almost away, given the anemic state of the Davenport offense.
Again, as you talked about, they have been in almost exclusively 1-score games this season. This one finds them already trailing by 3 scores. On first down, toss to Terrence Brown, running to the left side, cuts it back to the inside, gets out to the 40. That's a gain of 7. And right now, the SVSU offensive line is doing a good job on the toss sweep.
It's interesting how much more effective the toss sweep has been than a simple handoff. Even if it's going through the same gap, there's something about that misdirection.
And here McKenzie keeps it himself, maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage as There were a lot of defenders to the near side had he given the ball to Brown, so he decided to keep it himself, maybe got half a yard on the play. So it's going to be 3rd and we'll call it a long 2 coming up for SVSU. Cardinals are going to take their time here. If they convert it, Cardinals still have plenty of time to try to get some extra points on the board. If they don't, you don't want to give anything extra to Davenport. McKenzie drops back to pass. He's under pressure. He's going to be sacked. The Cardinals wanted something where McKenzie was going to be able to roll out to his left, but that was diagnosed and defended very well by Davenport. Jamar Mills finally making the tackle, and so SVSU will be forced to punt.
That play call sort of ran into a run blitz. It was the worst of two worlds colliding because it was intended to be a run blitz by the Panther defense. The Cardinals needed a little more time for Mason to play fake and roll out, and he didn't have that time.
SVSU can let it roll down to the 2-minute timeout, and it looks like that is what they will do. So 2-minute timeout in the first half, SVSU leading 17-0. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Garber Automotive is proud to be a partner with SVSU.
StoreMaster Exteriors is your one-stop shop for top-notch windows, roofing, siding, gutters, decks, and installation. StoreMaster will transform your home into the house you've been dreaming of. Their team of installers are fully licensed and insured employees, not subcontractors. StoreMaster delivers exceptional workmanship and unparalleled customer satisfaction. StoreMaster consultants will help you make the right decision for protecting your home and maximizing your value. Financing options are available. Call today for your free estimate.
At Covenant Healthcare, we take caring for kids very seriously. That's why we've established Covenant Children's Hospital. We have the region's only pediatric emergency care center and intensive care unit, and a birth center with a level 3 regional neonatal intensive care unit.
They have stickers!
We're dedicated to providing extraordinary care to infants and children so they can get back to the serious business of being kids.
In a world ravaged by outrageous prices, tormented by aggressive salespeople, and plagued by confusing offers, there is a team of heroes that delivers something better. And better is Garber Nissan in Saginaw, home of the low price guarantee. Need a lower payment? We do it better. Want incredible service? We do it better. Want an easier buying experience? We do it better at Garber Nissan Bay Road, Saginaw.
You'll do better at Garber.
Jets has been making the best Detroit-style pizza on the planet for over 40 years because we've always been committed to quality, like hand-pressed dough, fresh mozzarella, and sauce made from Mama.
Footed punter, and they've got Tyler McCoon, the left-footed punter. It goes to McCoon, and he does get it away. It's very high. Not a super long kick, but it is a very effective kick for SVSU. Now the late penalty flag does come in. I understand the penalty flag. It is the right call, but for the SVSU player who was down trying to cover it, you don't expect the punt to be that short.
Well, and JJ, I think the problem that Coach Brady has with the penalty is that there was not a fair catch signal that was clearly made, and the receiver was, well, he was leveled. So I'm not surprised to see some laundry, as they call the catch interference.
Yes, and so I'm with you in terms of it's a tough call against SVSU. I understand why the call was made. The biggest thing now is, as a result of that penalty, Davenport is going to have by far its best field position of the game, starting at the SVSU 40-yard line. They are keeping Vandenhout in at quarterback. I did not see an injury to O'Horo, but it has been Vandenhout now for his 3rd straight series. On first down, he drops back to pass. He's going to throw underneath. It's caught, and a good job by Harris out of the backfield. He's going to be close to first down yardage.
And the quarterback's eyes that entire play were following that receiver. There was no mistaking where that ball was going. So they move it out, they get to the sidelines, and they kind of move in a positive direction. And JJ, there's like a glimmer of optimism on the Davenport offense right now after that penalty in the first play on the first down.
Vandenhout drops back to pass on 2nd and 1. He's going to fire deep to the far side. It's into coverage and incomplete, as there was a little bit of separation over there as DJ Volz was catching up to the play, and fortunately he did enough to at least get in the...
Was not going to be caught at any point on that route. It was just a heave. However, as you sit here now with the ball at the 31-yard line, Davenport at least has the potential of getting 3 points out of this possession. I didn't think that would be the case back when the Cardinals were punting. So a little bit of optimism for the Panthers.
3rd and 1. Vandenhout rolling to his right, throws it. Was that caught? Yes. Diving catch made on the far sidelines by Antoine Collins. So that does give Davenport a first down. Vandenhout had not...
And if they're going to continue trying to move the ball through the air, the Cardinals will have to get to this quarterback and pressure him a bit.
And now he'll try to run it between the tackles. He's hit from the backside, does struggle forward for the gain of a yard or two.
Keep the clock moving down. 60 seconds left to go in the half.
Davenport does have place kicker in Brandon Gilo. So they would be within field goal range to an attempt to try, should that come to pass. 2nd and 8. Vandenhout back to pass. Good protection. Rolling out. And he's going to throw it over the middle. He's got a man. It's caught. It's Harris. And he's knocked out of bounds inside the 5-yard line, as Vandenhout came right up to the line of scrimmage, did not cross it, and now Davenport's going to have it 1st and goal.
JJ, I'm standing down on the field at the line of scrimmage. That was...
For this Cardinal defense, 29 seconds to play in the half, and now the defense needs to keep Davenport out of the end zone. And Davenport, at least for the moment, lines up in an empty set. Myron Harris, the running back, is in the near slot of 3 receivers split wide to the left. And now we've got a penalty flag, and this may be delay of game on Davenport. And that's where having a freshman without game experience, I think, really just cost Davenport 5 yards.
And they were screaming delay of game down here on the sidelines. You probably heard it coming through my microphone. The Cardinals more than willing to help out with that call.
Well, the difference between 1st and goal from the 4 and 1st and goal from the 9 is big. Again, Davenport has all 3 timeouts remaining, so they can use the whole field.
Yeah, time definitely not the factor here.
But now it's much tougher to punch it in. Vandenhout drops back to pass. Pressure coming up the middle. He's now going to take off and run. He was well past the line of scrimmage, but it's picked off anyway. Sagniaw Valley with the interception in the end zone. I'm waiting for the players to unpile to get the number of the defender for Sagniaw Valley who made the play.
13.
DJ Volz.
Oh, the young quarterback, JJ, leaves his feet, jumps in the air, tries to hurl something back across the middle of the field. I mean, he broke every fundamental quarterbacking rule, and Volz was right there to step in front of it. What a huge play right before the half as the Cardinals snuff out any glimmer of hope the Panthers had for getting on the scoreboard.
Wow. SVSU now with 2 big interceptions in the first half. Micah Kretzinger had one earlier that set up a touchdown. That one from DJ Volz saves a touchdown. As on 1st down, Cardinals will hand it off to Brown, and he pushes the pile out near the 15-yard line. And that should be the final play of the first half. And it is a first half that will see the Cardinals heading into the locker room having pitched a shutout as SVSU leads 17-0.
Down here on the field with Coach Brady, I can't I can't think of enough good things to say about this defense. They just keep the door closed. What did you see in the first half?
That was a big play there at the end by DJ Volts. Great job by him and taking care of the ball after that. So that was huge. Great goal line stand right there. So defense played a heck of a first half. We're going to need them to do it for another half.
Watching this ground game develop a little slowly at the start and then start dominating out around the edges, was that always the plan all along, was to kind of explore what you can get on the sides?
Yeah, you know, we're getting good stretch on the interior of our offensive line. We're creating some seams, and you know, our backs are doing a great job hitting that thing vertical.
Davenport not used to being in games that are more than 2 possession separation. What's your message as you go in here at halftime?
It's all about us. We just need to focus on us and not get caught knock that out.
Awesome first half. See you later. Go get them.
Thank you.
Coach Ryan Brady here on the sidelines as the Cardinals head in on.
The GLIAC is the Conference of Champions. Since its inception in 1972, GLIAC teams have won 53 national championships and countless more individual championships.
Throughout the GLIAC, passionate fans come support our athletes in 21 NCAA-sponsored sports.
Just as important as being champions on the field.
The pool.
The court. The course.
The track.
GLIAC student athletes are champions in the classroom and the community.
The GLIAC is.
The GLIAC is.
The GLIAC is.
The Conference of Champions.
At Garber Buick, better is a daily effort. We start every day with better in mind. Better prices, payments, and selection. That's a big part of it, but not the whole picture. We're constantly improving to be a better place to shop, get service, and work. See Garber Buick in Sagniaw and get a better payment on a new Buick Encore or Envision. The relentless pursuit of better. That's Garber Buick. State Street in Saginaw. Online, GarberBuick.com. Home of the low price guarantee.
If you want a career that requires a college degree, the clock starts now. And while time marches on, keep in mind that 97% of our students find their career when they graduate. The choice is yours. The time is now. The school is SVSU.
Jets has been making the best Detroit-style pizza on the planet for over 40 years because we've always been committed to quality, like hand-pressed dough, fresh mozzarella, and sauce made from Mama Jet's secret family recipe, all baked to perfection for the thickest golden crunch. So go ahead, build your own Detroit-style pizza or order one of our specialties like the all-meaty or Jet 10. Jets, better because it has to be.
Your husband is having a heart attack. The ambulance crew asks,
Which hospital?
Before you answer, consider this. Covenant Healthcare is the region's most preferred hospital for both emergency and heart care. With an expert team of board-certified cardiologists and the Great Lakes Bay region's first and largest structural heart disease program.
Take us to Covenant.
Good answer.
It's time to take advantage of the lowest tuition of any state school in Michigan. A school where 90% of our students receive scholarships or grants. The choice is yours. The time is now. The school is SVSU.
StoreMaster Exteriors is your one-stop shop for top-notch windows, roofing, siding, gutters, decks, and installation. StoreMaster will transform your home into the house you've been dreaming of. Their team of installers are fully licensed and insured employees, not subcontractors. StoreMaster delivers exceptional workmanship and unparalleled customer satisfaction. StoreMaster consultants will help you make the right decision for protecting your home and maximizing your value. Financing options are available. Call today for your free estimate.
The Detroit formula for making something great is simple. Hard work. Make it good. Then make it better. Better, like Jet's Detroit-style pizza. Jets. Better, because it has to be.
Better is an everyday effort at Garber Chevrolet in Saginaw. Everything we do with better in mind. Better prices, payments, and selection. They're a big part of it, but not the whole picture. We're constantly improving to be a better place to shop, get service, and work.
See Garber Chevrolet in Saginaw and get a better payment on a new Chevy Silverado or better savings on a new Chevy Equinox.
The relentless pursuit of better. That's Garber Chevrolet, Gratiot Road in Saginaw, home of the low price guarantee.
Your college experience is waiting. It's time to compete, time to learn, time to laugh, and time to unite. It's time to call the highest ranked dorms in the country home. The choice is yours. The time is now. The school is SVSU.
At Covenant Healthcare, we take caring for kids very seriously. That's why we've established Covenant Children's Hospital. We have the region's only pediatric emergency care center and intensive care unit, and a birth center with a level 3 regional neonatal intensive care unit.
They have stickers!
We're dedicated to providing extraordinary care to infants and children so they can get back to the serious business of being kids.
The GLIAC invites you to exercise your right to vote in the upcoming national election on Tuesday, November 5th.
If you are a student and cannot get home on Election Day, make sure to request an absentee ballot.
I'm voting because every person matters. Every voice counts.
I am voting because I want to ensure my voice is heard and be an example for my peers.
Voting is important because democracy depends on everyone's participation.
I'm exercising my right to vote because it fulfills my civic duty.
Voting is important because every person counts and every voice matters.
Voting is important because my opinion matters.
Voting is a right that we're fortunate enough to have as a country. I want my values to be reflected in the scope of civic participation regardless of the outcome.
I am voting because I want to drive change in this country.
I am voting to ensure that my voice is heard, and you should too.
By Antoine Collins, that gave them the lead to start the second half, and then they just held that lead throughout the second half.
And I would love the chance, we're not going to have it, but to talk to Davenport head coach Sparky McEwen and ask him about the quarterback change. Now, it's entirely possible we may find out that Michael Horo was injured somehow. He didn't get hit that I saw, but maybe that's the reason for the change. But let's keep in mind also that they not only made a quarterback change, they went to somebody not on the too deep depth chart. And so they've given a freshman quarterback some trial by fire. And as you saw there at the end of the half, that lack of experience kind of came back to bite him in the backside.
Now, there was a long return by Kretzinger
Yep.
on the interception, and so those are plays where quarterbacks are sometimes prone to getting blocked because now they're an eligible defender, as it were.
Yeah, you never know.
It is possible that
Yep.
something happened away from the return that we didn't see. But otherwise, you're right. To have to put a redshirt freshman quarterback in who had not thrown a pass on the season prior to today is putting your team in a very difficult situation.
Yeah, the Cardinals have dominated on the ground. Terrence Brown, 7 carries, 53 yards, averaging 7.6 a carry. Michael Jamerson, 5 carries, 44 yards, averaging 8.8 yards per carry. And let's not forget the quarterback, Mason McKenzie's got 10 carries for net. He had 10 carries for 39 yards, but because of a sack, it knocks his rushing numbers down quite a bit. And on the receiving side of things, the Cardinals have been conservative through the air, but Joseph Walker with 3 catches on 3 targets for 50 yards, including a long 38-yarder. Tyler McCoon has that 25-yarder that set up the Cardinals' last touchdown in the second quarter. And all things told, the Cardinals have been dominating, including time of possession, 18.5 minutes to 11.5.
SVSU leads at the half, 17-0. We will send it back to the studios for halftime. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football. All right, Matt, we will be off headset for a few minutes. Thank you. It's small. There's a little, I don't even know what you call it. Maybe they still call it a base. But there's a very small naval building anyway on the south side of the city. Yeah, it's really small.
Not based in
No.
Not near water.
No.
Okay.
Not, well, not that far from the Saginaw River, but not on the river either. You know.
Hey Cardinal fans, my name is Jenny Stewart, head women's basketball coach.
Not just.
Hey Cardinal fans, this is Coach Blue, head men's basketball coach. Season tickets are on sale now.
Please go to scscardinals.com or scan the QR code to purchase your tickets today. Go hard.
Season tickets for the 2024-25 Cardinal men's and women's basketball season are now on sale. Season ticket packages for women's basketball are $117 for individuals and $500 for tickets in courtside seats. The men's price is $119 for individuals, $500 courtside seats. The Cardinal men's home opener is on Sunday, November 10th against Hillsdale at 3 p.m. The women host Hillsdale on Friday, November 15th at 5:30 p.m. for their home opener. Visit SVSUCardinals.com and click on Purchase Tickets in the ticket menu to get your season ticket package today.
Check out United Financial Credit Union and see how we put you first. From youth accounts to retirement accounts, auto loans to home loans, we strive to provide long-term financial stability to our members and their families. Contact us today to learn more.
United Financial Credit Union is your trusted local financial partner with a wide variety of accounts and services to fit your needs. Membership offers many benefits exclusive to credit unions that can't be found on a bank. We have 7 locations in the Great Lakes Bay region and a 24-hour ATM located in Cardinal View Plaza. Open your new account at United Financial, where we put you first. Learn more at UnitedFinancialCU.org.
At Garber Buick, better is a daily effort. We start every day with better in mind. Better prices, payments, and selection. That's a big part of it, but not the whole picture. We're constantly improving to be a better place to shop, get service, and work. See Garber Buick in Saginaw and get a better payment on your Buick Encore or Envision. The relentless pursuit of better. That's Garber Buick. State Street in Saginaw. Online, GarberBuick.com. Home of the low price guarantee.
Garber Automotive is a proud sponsor of SVSU Athletics and the official top provider for our sports medicine staff. Garber's transportation is provided to your Cardinal student athletes when medical attention due to a sports-related injury is necessary off campus.
You know, but what I've learned is like, yeah, after an interception like that on a return, like sometimes quarterbacks get taken out.
Theoretically, is fairly updated. So why would this kid be this?
Well, the other guy didn't. It is like, you know, Horrell was kind of shared time that transferred to Temple, DeLon Bandits. But, you know, he didn't play last week either because I think he got hurt. So I'm not shocked if he's not playing. But, like, this, you know, how have you thrown a pass all season?
Yeah, that's
this is not the defense J.J. Boehm, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium, where at the half it is SVSU leading Davenport by a score of 17-0. Coming out of the break, the starting quarterback for Davenport, Michael Horrell, has been warming up with Mac Vandenhout, who came in and led Davenport on their last 3 possessions of the first half. So it will bear watching to see who does get the first series for Davenport in the second half. Vandenhout had not thrown a pass coming into this game.
And the last pass that he threw was an ill-advised pass. Now, again, you and I haven't been able to find out. We've been asking various people with the Davenport program if they had any idea what led to the quarterback change. And maybe it was just a gut hunch by the coach, and that's fine. That's part of why he's the head coach. If I'm comparing the 2 interceptions thrown, one by each quarterback, I would say that the one thrown before the half by the freshman was a more egregious error, whereas the one that O'Horo threw to Micah Kretzinger earlier was just a fantastic play by an All-American linebacker. So who knows what we'll see from Davenport, because if you're trying to go with what you would define as your best chance to win, so far for Davenport, they haven't had a clear leader in that category. It's been a defensive masterpiece by the Cardinals so far.
And for Davenport, again, we talked about how Myron Harris was the leading rusher in the conference, back-to-back 100-plus yard games in the first half, 5 carries, 4 yards.
Do you think that there's any chance during the week that the Cardinal defensive unit during practice was perhaps reminded once or twice that they were about to face the conference's leading rusher, and just on the off chance that provided any extra incentive to get after him, because they've gotten after him?
I am sure that was on
inadvertently mentioned, maybe
the preparation and so forth. I will also say this defense has shown up ready to play
every
with
week.
Consistency, week in, week out, play in, play out. So it's one of those situations where, I'm sure that gets mentioned, and I'm not sure how much of a bearing it has on this particular defensive unit, because you've got a lot of seniors with a lot of pride and a lot of experience, and they have shown up every single week for SVSU. Yes, the Cardinals have dropped 2 games. However, in those games, they gave up only 16 points in one and only 10 points in the other.
Davenport is averaging 137 yards rushing per game this season. In the first half today, they have 9 carries for 16 yards. Either they're going to get really hot on the ground in the second half, or they are not going to come anywhere close to their season average. My money would be on option 2.
I'm with you in part because also the game situation does not lend itself to having them run the ball a lot, because SVSU is leading 17-0, and the kickoff return unit for SVSU is coming out for the first time today because Davenport was shut out in the first half. Cardinals will fly from right to left here in the third quarter. Cardinals wearing their red jerseys, navy pants, navy helmets with the red cardinal on them. And for Davenport, they're in their traveling road white jerseys, black pants, black numbers with red trim, black helmets with a red Panther emblem for Davenport. And you have Braden Hill and Jaquan Howard deep to receive for Saginaw Valley.
You know it's time for the second half when our broadcast assistants have just now delivered the cookies to us. Right when I can't eat them, I have to talk. So we've got to work on timing when we have our final home game in a couple of weeks. But so A for effort, probably a C+ for timing. But nonetheless, thank you.
Appreciation expressed.
He's like, leave me alone. I brought you a cookie, for goodness sakes.
Davenport kicking off, and they're going with the squib kick. And SVSU falls on it at about the 28-yard line. So that just shows you the respect that Davenport has for SVSU's kickoff unit, because for the Cardinals, Austin Bills falls on it at the 28-yard line, and that's going to give SVSU decent starting field position.
Terrence Brown will come out To begin the second half, as the featured back, I would expect that Jamerson will make an appearance here at some point. Brown with 7 carries for 53 yards in the first half, and most of that success came out around the edges. His longest run is 17 yards.
Jamerson had a long of 29, as the Cardinals did find success rushing the football. 118 yards on the ground in the first half. Here, handoff to Brown, running off the right side, cannot get to the corner. Good job by Davenport. If he'd have been able to turn the corner, it was well blocked downfield, but he did not quite get there.
Looked like out around the end. Arm delivery by Mason. It was not his best technical form on the throw. And you're right, there was a chance to complete it, but footwork and shoulders, everything was all askew that time. That was a driver that went into the water on the right side of the fairway. If you'll allow me just a little analogy from the golf world.
So now a big 3rd and 10 coming up for SVSU on the opening possession of the second half. Davenport runs a twist. McKenzie rolling to his right, and he's going to take off and run. Late penalty flag comes in. He did not pick up the first down, and I think they're going to get a hold on Saginaw Valley.
Yeah, there were a couple of linemen in the running for that particular honor, most likely to be declined because the Cardinals will end up kicking the ball away. And since the flag came in the backfield.
Offense number 7.
Yeah.
Connor Cracchiolo-Evans, the right tackle, called for the penalty. But as you said, Davenport will decline because McKenzie gained just 3 on the carry, so it sets up 4th and 7. And SVSU will have to bring out the punt unit.
Probably not the start to the second half that they talked about in the locker room. They probably had more thoughts about let's kind of put a stamp on this one and come as close as we can to finishing it off. So now the defense will come out and be able to make whatever statement they've been working on.
Tyler McCoon, the left-footed punter, gets away a rugby-style kick that keeps rolling down inside the 30, inside the 25, and will be down at about the 23-yard line. So it's not pretty, but it is effective. And now we will see who comes out to lead Davenport on this possession. And they will return to Vandenhout.
Your guess is as good as mine, my man.
Get Mac Vandenhout, a 6-foot, 195-pound redshirt freshman out of Rockford, Michigan, suburban Grand Rapids, and had not thrown a pass coming into this game. He was 5 of 8 for 33 yards and an interception in the first half. And here, handoff to Williams running to the far side, and he finds a little bit of a lane, gets out across the 25 to about the 28. So Kendall Williams, a graduate student, played several years at Wayne State before transferring to Davenport, picks up 5 on that carry. They'll go with a pistol look and an offset eye to the left here. And Vandenhout will give it to Williams again, trying to find a cutback lane. He does. He's got the first down out to the 40-yard line. It is finally Alfred Daly who makes the tackle for Saginaw Valley, but Davenport with a different look in the run game here and a couple of decent runs to start the second half.
And maybe they will kind of test their patience and see what the ground game can get them on this possession. Obviously, they've got an entire half left. 17 points is not a ridiculous amount to overcome. They did not have much success on the ground, though, in those opening 30 minutes.
On first down here, handoff to Harris, trying to get to the edge. He does somewhat, and on second effort actually makes a nice gain out of it.
He's running angry.
Picks up about 8.
He is running angry coming out here to start the half.
And he's pumping his fist in front of the Davenport sideline. Again, you can tell Davenport understands the importance of this possession, their first of the second half, as they try to come back into this game trailing 17-0.
Is it possible that in the first half he had 5 carries for 4 yards?
That's what I had him for.
Wow. I knew it was a small number. I didn't know it was that small.
2nd and 2. And they go with the flea flicker. There's pressure on Vandenhout. He's going to fire deep down the far side and incomplete. SVSU did a good job recovering on the play. It would have taken a perfect pass to complete that one to Antoine Collins.
And really good recovery by DJ Volts in coverage. There was some separation on the pattern, pass underthrown just a little bit. And not only does Volts close that gap, but he manages to avoid contact, because that easily, with one wrong step, could have been a pass interference penalty.
3rd and 2. Cardinals move but do not jump into the neutral zone.
I think that whole play was intended as a hard count to make somebody jump.
3rd and 2, handoff to Harris. He's got the first down. He is met by Alfred Daly with an emphatic tackle right at the line to gain. And so the two of them now just walk back to their respective quarters. Tough, hard, physical run, and Harris does pick up the first down.
That was 225 on 220, head-on, full speed. And Alfred Daly Jr. won that collision, but it was about a half a yard past the line to gain.
So Davenport will have it from right at midfield. 11:25 to play, 3rd quarter. SVSU leading 17-0. And here, handoff to Williams running to the left, and he did not get back to the line of scrimmage. Micah Kretzinger with another tackle for loss.
That play sort of got held up on the edges, and nobody was going down, nobody was going back, and then out of nowhere comes number 6 in the red jersey to put an exclamation point on the end of that play. And when Micah hits the ball carrier is well aware of who that is.
Loss of 4, his 2nd tackle for loss today, to also go along with an interception. James McDonald checks in at middle linebacker for the Cardinals. Empty set for Davenport. Vandenhout wants to run. He's not going to get to. Double team sack by Carson Bereni and Adam Leduc.
And he had nowhere to throw. I'm looking downfield at the 3 receivers that were out in patterns, and every one of them was blanketed. The Cardinals actually set some linebackers a little further back down the field in zone coverage so that the underneath was taken away. The freshman, I guess to his credit, didn't force the ball into trouble like he did down before the end of the first half, but he does end up taking a sack and losing, what is it, 3rd and 21. So definitely behind the sticks for Davenport as the Cardinals. I think that's the first sack of the day for the Cardinals.
Vandenhout back to pass here. They're setting up the screen. It's caught, and a very short gain on the play as they found the tight end, Keith
Go ahead. Go ahead. I want to hear you say that one 10 times fast.
Namasango.
Nice.
I could keep going. But he gets a couple of yards on the play, and now Davenport will have to punt it away. So after a couple of first downs, the Davenport possession stalls, and SVSU should get the football back. 9:18 and ticking to play here in the 3rd quarter. SVSU leading 17-0. Low snap, but the punter does field it and gets away a knuckling kick. Fair catch called for and made by Terrence Brown at the 23-yard line. So with SVSU leading 17-0, 9:04 to play 3rd quarter. We'll take a quick break. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
StoreMaster Exteriors is your one-stop shop for top-notch windows, roofing, siding, gutters, decks, and installation. StoreMaster will transform your home into the house you've been dreaming of. Their team of installers are fully licensed and insured employees, not subcontractors. StoreMaster delivers exceptional workmanship and unparalleled customer satisfaction. StoreMaster consultants will help you make the right decision for protecting your home and maximizing your value. Financing options are available. Call today for your free estimate.
At Covenant Healthcare, we take caring for kids very seriously. That's why we've established Covenant Children's Hospital. We have the region's only pediatric emergency care center and intensive care unit, and a birth center with a level 3 regional neonatal intensive care unit.
They have stickers!
We're dedicated to providing extraordinary care to infants and children so they can get back to the serious business of being kids. In a
world ravaged by outrageous prices, tormented by aggressive salespeople, and plagued by confusing offers, there is a team of heroes that delivers something better. And better is Garber Nissan in Sagniaw, home of the low price guarantee. Need a lower payment? We do it better. Want incredible service? We do it better. Want an easier buying experience? We do it better at Garber Nissan Bay Road, Saginaw.
You'll do better at Garber. Jets has been making the best Detroit-style pizza on the planet for over 40 years because we've always been committed to quality, like hand-pressed dough, fresh mozzarella, and sauce made from Mama Jet's secret family recipe, all baked to perfection for the thickest golden crunch. So go ahead, build your own Detroit-style pizza or order one of our specialties, like the all-meaty or Jet 10.
Over at their own 23-yard line. 1st and 10, McKenzie tosses to Jamerson. He finds a lane, bounces off one tackle, still on his feet, out near the 30-yard line, and now his offensive linemen get in on the act, and that's going to be a nice gain of about 7 or 8 on 1st down. And now look at that SVSU sideline. They are all enthusiastic after that tough, hard run by Michael Jamerson.
Well, you love it when your running back runs over a linebacker. And number 11, Jamar Mills for Davenport, who's out of East Lansing, he got steamrolled on that particular carry.
2nd and 2, handoff to Jamerson again. Boy, this is going to be close. It's going to depend on the spot. Now, the near side official is saying 1st down. He thinks it's enough. Now the far side official agrees with him. Cardinals only needed 2 yards, and they did pick up the 1st down. So that's a big 1st down for SVSU. Gives the defense a little more chance to recover.
It's been an interesting day for the Cardinal offense where they have used run first and kind of the passing game to support the running game.
Fake the toss to Jamerson that time, and McKenzie's going to lose yardage. It was a good decision not to pitch it because there were defenders right there, but then when McKenzie tried to make something out of it, he couldn't find a running lane, loses a couple of yards.
I'm not sure if that's an option that the quarterback has or if that was the design, toss, fake, come back around. Whatever the case may be, it didn't work that time.
Loss of 2.
Let's see how they're using, though, that run to loosen up the passing game, maybe here.
On 2nd and 12, blitz coming. McKenzie throws to the far side,
Yep.
has a man wide open. It's Kraft. He's got the 1st down. So the blitz came from the defensive left, the offensive right, and then when Kraft runs a pattern to the far sideline,
Nobody
he's
home.
wide open and easily gets the 1st down.
And so there's this little tentative nature for the Panther defense because they've got to be careful there's not somebody running the ball past them, as has happened a few times today. And that's a really good example of the run setting up the pass.
Cardinals now have it 1st and 10 from their own 46. McKenzie gives it, tries to give it on the pitch, and Sam Dursa wisely just falls on it. There might have been something there if it's a good pitch because there were some blockers in front, but it was not a good pitch, and the Cardinals are fortunate to maintain possession.
Wasn't a good pitch largely because it wasn't a good snap. And when you're running a motion, kind of a toss sweep, or an option that way, the timing is crucial. That time the snap was a little high. McKenzie had to go up and get it, and by then all the rhythm was off.
2nd and 18. McKenzie drops back to pass again. Has lots of time. Now he's going to take off and run, breaks a tackle, and he's got back to the original line of scrimmage. We've also got a penalty flag back in the secondary.
I think we have a defensive hold. The receiver that was split to the far left was trying to make a move towards the seams or towards the post.
That was Kennedy.
And he was grabbed pretty clearly, and I believe we're going to see a automatic 1st down.
Defense number 15. 10-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Automatic.
When it's added to the end of the run. So it is an automatic 1st down, but it's also 10 yards added to the end of the run. And so now SVSU is going to be able to scrimmage from inside of Davenport territory as the ball is set at the Panther 44. 5:55 to play, 3rd quarter. SVSU leading 17-0.
I was not aware that a defensive holding penalty was also added to the end of a play. I thought it was either take it or leave it. So perhaps I've learned something today, or perhaps something was missed down on the field.
On first down, toss to Jamerson, running to the right side, gets a couple. So the toss sweep was the best run play for SVSU in the first half. Here in the third quarter, it looks like Davenport has made some defensive adjustments. That hasn't been as successful.
Their linebackers are flowing to that direction with a little bit more aggression and intent this time because of how often they were burned by the toss sweep. My guess would be this toss sweep is setting up a misdirection that will bring things back the other direction at some point, if not on this drive, then on a future drive, because the defense is biting hard on that toss.
McKenzie, straight drop back here on second down. Looking, rolling to his right, and incomplete. Kind of threw it not away, but down at the feet of his tight end, McCoon, so he knew that that one was not going to be caught, but also he would not get called for grounding.
Well, McCoon was being bear hugged by the defender. I could hear the Cardinal sideline yelling for a hold as well. Hard to break free if somebody's got you in their grasp. So the Cardinals now look at third down and 9, probably a wise incompletion thrown by McKenzie.
Cardinals converted on third down a moment ago. This will be 3rd and 9, 3-receiver package. Blitz coming. Cardinals do pick it up. McKenzie throws over the middle, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Davenport. And here come the Panthers on the return. This is Christian Jones, and he's finally down at the 10-yard line. O'Horo threw it before his receiver turned to look for it. It went right to Jones, and then he not only made the interception, he had an outstanding return, and Davenport's going to have it 1st and goal.
Obviously, in the stat column, that pickoff will go against Mason McKenzie. That one was a 2-part interception because I think he was looking for the post seam route, and the receiver literally never turned around. So somebody got it wrong. Most often in that case where the receiver doesn't turn to look, probably the receiver had the wrong play in mind.
So a big stand here for the Cardinal defense. After the turnover, Davenport has it 1st and goal from the 10. Again, it is Vandenhout, the redshirt freshman, at the controls for Davenport. And he hands it off to Williams, tries to stutter step, does pick his way down to about the 6-yard line. In the first half, SVSU got put in a short yardage situation in terms of its defensive field position. They were able to surrender nothing. DJ Volt's got an interception in the end zone. Cardinals hoping to match that again.
If they throw the ball here, I will be shocked.
They do have one receiver split wide to either side. Myron Harris checks in at running back. They are going to throw it to the far side. Incomplete.
Wasn't even close.
Well, that's one where the SVSU cornerback, I think that's Ellison on the far side, he just knew what they were likely to run out of that. He did not let the receiver get the depth that he wanted to get for that jump ball.
That receiver, Preston Smith, for Davenport, number 1, was split to the far left side. That's the fade route that you've seen a million times in various games at different levels. That time the receiver couldn't get to the fade because of the excellent defensive coverage. And now, very late substitutions for Davenport. Won't be surprised if we end up seeing them burn a timeout as the play clock is down to 5 and they're not set.
Because SVSU gets to substitute now too.
Yep.
And Davenport's got to take a timeout. As you said, it was a smart decision by SVSU because once the offense substitutes, the defense gets to substitute, and the Cardinals switched a couple of defensive linemen who admittedly weren't running at full speed, but that's not a requirement. So they're jogging off the field, jogging onto the field, and Davenport realized they had no chance to get that play off.
You know, one of the oddities of the rule book is what we just saw happen. I don't remember when I'm a kid watching football, the officials stepping in over top of the ball and allowing substitutions to be made by the defense. And so now you have this twist of gamesmanship, really, where the defensive coordinator can say, oh, they brought in a couple players. I guess we get to do that too. But let's not sprint out there, boys. Let's slowly jog on and off the field because that play clock is still running. So all of that to be said, it makes the offense have to be a little more thoughtful about when it runs players on and off the field. That time Davenport was its own enemy. they got caught in their own switch.
3rd and goal from the 7. Vandenhout drops back to pass. Now he's going to try to take off and run. He's hit, and he'll be tackled at the 5-yard line. Brandon Rawls and James McDonald combine on the stop. And now a decision for Sparky McEwen. They are down 3 scores, and it looks like they will send out the field goal unit.
This would be that time when I would be extra sensitive to a potential trick play. Yes, 3 points will help them, by the way, so it gets them down 2 touchdowns. But this is also a team that is desperate for offense. 3 points is not going to get it done for them. So just keep your eyes open. I would play this one safe.
This will be a 23-yard attempt from the right hash for the left-footed place kicker, Gilo. And we've got a block, but we had a penalty first, and I think we're going to get delay a game.
Yep. They're going to back it up.
So I did hear the whistle before the ball was snapped, and the back judge is signaling delay of game.
Micah Krutzinger.
And it is delay of game on Davenport. That's the 2nd delay of game in the red zone on Davenport today.
That one might have saved them a touchdown. That kick was blocked, and it was going to be picked up and run back.
Now, I heard the whistle first, and Davenport may have let up, but as you said, SVSU still got good penetration. So now it's going to be a 28-yard attempt. They will keep it on the right hash for the left-footed place kicker, Gilo. Snap is low. Gilo does get it off, but it's no good. Wide to the right. So Davenport still scoreless on the day. 3:05 to play 3rd quarter. Saginaw Valley on top, 17-0. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the field your 2-time national.
The GLIAC is the Conference of Champions. Since its inception in 1972, GLIAC teams have won 53 national championships and countless more individual championships.
Throughout the GLIAC, passionate fans come support our athletes in 21 NCAA-sponsored sports.
Just as important as being champions on the field.
The pool.
The court. The course.
The track.
GLIAC student athletes are champions in the classroom and the community.
The GLIAC is.
The GLIAC is.
The GLIAC is.
The Conference of Champions.
Better is an everyday effort at Garber Chevrolet in Saginaw. Everything we do with better in mind. Better prices, payments, and selection. They're a big part of it, but not the whole picture. We're constantly improving to be a better place to shop, get service, and work.
See Garber Chevrolet in Saginaw and get a better payment on a new Chevy Silverado or better savings on a new Chevy Equinox.
The relentless pursuit of better. That's Garber Chevrolet, Gratiot Road in Saginaw. Home of the low price guarantee.
The Detroit
JJ Bain, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium, where Davenport gets the interception by Christian Jones, has it goal to go, can't punch it in, settles for the field goal try, gets a delay of game, and then the normally reliable place kicker, Brandon Gilo, misses the 28-yard field goal, and so Davenport still scoreless, SVSU leading 17-0, 3:05 to play 3rd quarter. And here, McKenzie, quarterback keeper, brought down behind the line. Great play that time by Austin Stieff, the defensive end out of Orlando for Davenport.
And Mason McKenzie gets up with a noticeable limp. He sort of got twisted around, and right now he is hurting.
That time it was a good play by Stieff, but you're right. McKenzie definitely favoring that right leg coming out of that play. It was a loss of 5. And here he's going to hand off to Brown. He gets back across the original line of scrimmage, maybe to the 21-yard line. Gain of 6. So 3rd and about 9 coming up for Saginaw Valley.
one would guess that Mason's running opportunities might be minimized here moving forward. You certainly don't want to run him into any sort of trouble.
This would be a huge conversion for the Cardinals. Get some more clock, but also take away any opportunity for Davenport to feel like they can build on that last interception. Davenport has not been able to do much on offense today. 3rd and 9. McKenzie back to pass. Has a great pocket. Has time. Throws. Juggled. Incomplete. The pass was delivered on time to McCoon, his tight end. He didn't catch it cleanly, and then he took a big hit after the play by Grodhouse.
Yeah, Cameron Grodhouse took care of any potential catch. When that ball was bobbled and Grodhouse came in and brought the lumber, that play ended immediately. It was a good pass.
I was going to say, it was a well-thrown ball.
Yeah, it was a first down for sure.
It was into tight coverage, but it did get through to the tight end. McCoon just could not quite bring it in, so he will have to go back to punt formation, as will the right-footed punter, Castaneda. They go low snap. Castaneda does get it away. It's to the far side of the field, and it goes out of bounds near midfield. So not the longest punt you're going to see, but no return. And so Davenport will take over at the SVSU 49-yard line with 1:31 to play in the third quarter. It is SVSU leading Davenport 17-0. 2 other GLIAC games in progress. Ferris State, who the Cardinals will play next week, leading at Northern 48-2. Michigan Tech on the road leading Roosevelt 20-0. Vandenhout back to pass on first down, looking to the far side, and Preston Smith makes a nice catch right at the sticks to pick up the first down.
Well, they clearly are going to ride or die with the freshman the rest of the way. If you were going to make another change to bring O'Horo back in the game, it would have happened on this possession, one would think.
So now Davenport, 1st and 10 from the Saginaw Valley 39. Vandenhout back to pass again. He's forced out of the pocket. Hit, stays on his feet. Now throws downfield, and it's caught. Good hit delivered by Jasper Beeler, but not before the pass is caught by Peyton Carter.
It might have been the most accurate pass we have seen thrown by this young quarterback today.
So Davenport all the way down to the SVSU 23-yard line. Vandenhout throwing to the near side, incomplete. Good coverage by Eli Gordon as he was trailing Peyton Carter, the intended receiver that time.
And a quiet day for Eli. I think that's the first mention of his name. He hasn't been tested back in the deepest parts of the secondary.
And the run game hasn't gotten to the third level.
Yeah, you don't want your safety having his name called a lot if you can help it, unless he's making it multiple interceptions.
2nd and 10. Pass thrown to the near side, and great tackle made by Christian Ellison after the reception by Smith. Now, Smith did a good job with body lean to get down to about the 15-yard line. So now this is going to be 3rd and short coming up.
It seems like it would be a kind of a Myron Harris moment. That big running back.
He has checked in. It's 3rd and 2. Instead, Vandenhout will drop back to pass. He's being pressured by Kretzinger and throws it out of bounds. Micah Kretzinger with a great job as a pass rusher that time, forcing Vandenhout to just get rid of it.
I was kind of wondering, and Micah's wondering the same thing, if there was...
You could have called a hold.
Yeah, you have to call the hold, which they didn't, but there was also potential for intentional grounding over. There was no white jersey anywhere near where that pass sailed. And now on 4th and 2, they're going to go for it.
So Davenport, having just missed a field goal going this direction, will go for it on 4th and 2. Vandenhout hands to Harris. He's got the first down. Good job of the Davenport offensive line giving him a running game, and so Davenport will have it 1st and goal when the 4th quarter begins. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Your college experience is waiting. It's time to compete, time to learn, time to laugh, and time to unite. It's time to call the highest-ranked dorms in the country home. The choice is yours. The time is now. The school is SVSU.
At Garber Buick, better is a daily effort. We start every day with better in mind. Better prices, payments, and selection. That's a big part of it, but not the whole picture. We're constantly improving to be a better place to shop, get service, and work. See Garber Buick in Saginaw and get a better payment on a new Buick Encore or Envision. The relentless pursuit of better. That's Garber Buick. State Street in Saginaw. Online, GarberBuick.com. Home of the low price guarantee.
Jets has been making the best Detroit-style pizza on the planet for over 40 years. Because we've always been committed to quality, like hand-pressed dough, fresh mozzarella, and sauce made from Mama Jet's secret family recipe. All baked to perfection for the thickest golden crunch. So go ahead, build your own Detroit-style pizza or order one of our specialties, like the all-meaty or Jet 10. Jets, better because it has to be.
StoreMaster Exteriors is your one-stop shop for top-notch windows, roofing, siding, gutters, decks, and installation. StoreMaster will transform your home into the house you've been dreaming of. Their team of installers are fully licensed and insured employees, not subcontractors. StoreMaster delivers exceptional workmanship and unparalleled customer satisfaction. StoreMaster consultants will help you make the right decision for protecting your home and maximizing your value. Financing options are available. Call today for your free estimate.
It's time to take advantage of the lowest tuition of any state school in Michigan. A school where 90% of our students receive scholarships or grants. The choice is yours. The time is now. The school is SVSU.
Words on the day. The GLIAC's leading rusher has been held in check, to say the very least.
Second and goal from the 7. 3 receivers split wide to the right this time. Vandenhout, play action. Rolling. Now he's going to be pressured and knocked out of bounds by McDonald. Kretzinger and McDonald, the 2 SVSU linebackers, doing a good job in their responsibility, not letting Vandenhout get outside the pocket. In fact, I think that's going to be officially a sack.
Yeah.
Because Vandenhout stepped out of bounds at the 8, so he lost a yard.
That's a tough assignment for a linebacker because you've got a receiver not too far behind you, so you have to commit. You have to commit and you have to contain at the same time, and I haven't seen anybody this season do it more effectively, more consistently than Micah Kretzinger. His eyes must light up when he sees a freshman quarterback come in. It's like, young man, I've got some treats for you. Welcome to college football.
3rd and goal from the 8. Cardinals bring a blitz. Vandenhout wants to run. He's got a lane, and he gets in. Touchdown, Davenport. So the Cardinals brought the blitz. Davenport picked it up well enough for Vandenhout to find a lane, and for the first time today, Davenport is on the scoreboard.
Give the kid some credit. He kept his composure with the heat around him and found a little window to sneak away and get into the end zone. So they have been knocking on the door since the end of the first half and finally get into the blue and red painted area.
Extra point is on the way, and it is good. So it's now 17-7, Saginaw Valley on top, 13:30 to play fourth quarter. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Myers family name today is Tiana. Tiana will receive a $25 gift card from Myers. The Cardinal football team thanks you, Tiana, for showing your red pride today. the QR code on the video board to donate online to the FCSU Football Blast Athletics page. Receive updates on schedules and scores, watch highlights, see photos, and more.
JJ Bame, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium, where after a couple of opportunities in the red zone that came up empty, Davenport finally does get on the scoreboard. They get an 8-yard touchdown run by their redshirt freshman quarterback, Mack, importance to it, and then the ensuing possession from SVSU has a lot of importance to it.
Definitely the last thing you want to do is give an overmatched opponent any hope. So it was, as we said, Davenport had been knocking on the scoring door the last few possessions, and the Cardinals had held strong, and there's no reason to think that they're in any sort of danger, but you want to have a good possession here. You're at the early stages of the fourth quarter, so there definitely is still time for your opponent to mount some pressure on you. Total plays in the game, 53 for SVSU, 46 for Davenport. Total yards, 246 for the Cardinals, 148 for the Panthers. That time of possession has closed a little bit. Now it's 25.5 to 21-15. So we've got a little bit of an evening, and we kind of expected that to happen coming into the game. Same records for both teams, and Davenport very accustomed to being in tighter competitions, tighter games. They've had 5 one-score games this season.
High short kick to the far side. Austin Bills fields it at the 22, finds a lane and gets out across the 30 before he is finally driven back. SVSU had the hands team in that time. They were going to guard against a potential onside kick from Davenport, but Bills still did a good job to not only field it, but get a decent return out of it. So SVSU will start at its own 30-yard line. And again, this is an important possession for the Cardinals as they want to try to A, control some clock, and B, see if they can get another score to widen their margin, as right now the Cardinals are on top by 10, 17-7.
And a little rules reminder that here at the college level, you do not have to fill out a requisition form and alert your opponent about an onside kick. You can just do it. You know, like football is meant to be played.
Handoff here coming to the near side for Folks. Gets a nice kick-out block, but is finally chased down by backside pursuit for a short gain.
A little bit of life out of this Davenport defense. That was Latrell Scott, who chased the play all the way across the field and brought it down for maybe a half a yard. That's about it.
Cardinals had some success on the toss sweep in the first half, but
largely been shut down here.
Yep, that has not been here in the second half. Jamerson stays in at running back. 2nd and 9. McKenzie is going to take off and run, and he's going to take a big hit. Minimal gain on the play. And so now a big 3rd and long coming up for Saginaw Valley offensively.
Knowing that Mason was dinged up a little bit earlier on an awkward tackle, I kind of hold my breath when he runs into a pile like that. He got up just fine. Really no gain on the play, though. So just as JJ had described this as being an important drive for the Cardinals, that would make this a very important 3rd and long.
3rd and 9, and the Cardinals keeping an interesting personnel package out there as they've got 2 running backs in the game. One of them right now, Terrence Brown, is lined up in the slot to the right. McKenzie drops back to pass. He's going to fire to the far side of the field. Almost caught by Terrence Brown. So again, they had the running back split to the right as a receiver. That was the intended target. McKenzie had to really backpedal and was a long way behind the line of scrimmage. He still laid it out there where Brown got one hand on it, but could not haul it in.
He also had the option of checking it down to Michael Jamerson, who was unguarded a little bit short of that play and had a really good look at getting the first down. Easy for me to say. I mean, Mason was rolling to his right under pressure and tried to thread one to his other back.
So now SVSU brings out the punt unit. Castaneda gets away, a towering kick. Davenport backpedaling, and the return man, Brody Thompson, calls for a fair catch at the Davenport 25-yard line. So with 11:53 to play here in the fourth quarter, SVSU leading 17-7. We'll take a quick break. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
The Cardinal men's soccer team wraps up the regular season at Roosevelt tomorrow, Sunday, November 3rd at 1 p.m. The women's soccer team faces Purdue Northwest on the road tomorrow at noon. Follow the action by clicking the live stats and video links on each team's schedule on the SVSU website at svsucardinals.com.
JJ Bame, Bill Hobson back at Wick Stadium, where SVSU led at the half 17-7. Cardinals able to move the ball pretty well in the first half, but this Davenport defense has responded in the second half. Cardinals haven't been able to move the ball very much at all, and so the SVSU defense will have to come back out and see if they can stop Davenport right here, because another score will make it a one-score game, and then the momentum would clearly be on the opposing sideline.
You know, you could kind of feel a little, I don't want to say concern or angst, but maybe a tad bit of nervousness on the home side of Wicks Stadium. And, by the way, great turnout, wonderful crowd here today. I mean, what better day could you have for college football? My guess would be that when we gather here next for the finale against Michigan Tech, it'll be a little bit chillier. Anybody want to take that wager?
Everything statistically says you are likely to be correct.
JJ's going to the data charts.
However, I will say we've had remarkably mild weather throughout this fall season.
Yep, for sure. It's been wonderful. Whenever you can go to a football game or go play golf, that's a good day in Michigan.
On first down, Vandenhout from the shotgun, drops back to pass. He's going to roll to his right. Now he wants to take off and run, and his pass is incomplete. Good job by Mo Kamara, who's in at linebacker right now. Alfred Daly, after that big hit on Myron Harris, he came in for one additional play, but then he had to come back out. So Kamara that time first had coverage responsibility, then he picked up the quarterback and forced the errant throw.
You know, the freshman we have seen with a decent arm when he's able to set his feet. When he's running, it's not where Vandenhout is at his most accurate. He bounced that throw to an open receiver.
2nd and 10. This time Brandon Rawls is going to pressure him and force a bad throw. So right now you can tell the Cardinals have somebody with quarterback responsibility every play. I'm not going to necessarily call it a spy because I'm not sure that it is, but somebody definitely is making sure that the quarterback has somebody in front of him so he can't just get out of the pocket.
Well, and after he scored the touchdown on the scramble, you definitely have to make sure you pay respect to the kid's ability to run. His throwing ability is not quite as developed yet, but he's very good carrying the ball.
So now a big 3rd and 10 for SVSU defensively.
I think Micah's coming after him.
He does. And then there's going to be pressure. Vandenhout throws off his back foot, and it's broken up. Great leaping attempt by Christian Ellison.
Oh, a little, like an inch higher, and Ellison's got a pick. But a really good pass breakup nonetheless. And the Cardinal defense does what it needed to do. Come in, shut things down, get off the field.
And that time, as you said, Kretzinger got pressure, and then SVSU in zone coverage had 3 defenders around the 2 eligible receivers down to the near side for Davenport. That's a big hold by this Saginaw Valley defense.
I will say Vanderhout has a good arm. It's a strong arm. He throws a good ball. It's not really as accurate as it needs to be, and especially when he is moving in any way, shape, or form. He's a freshman, so that kind of development is to be expected.
Juggled snap here, but the Cardinals weren't bringing pressure. Terrence Brown backpedals, fields it at his own 32-yard line, trying to get to the corner. He gets a block. He's across the 35, across the 40, and all the way out to the 47-yard line. Great job by Terrence Brown on the punt return. And so Saginaw Valley is going to start this possession in good field position. Mason McKenzie, the Cardinal quarterback, gives him a quick helmet tap because that gave the Cardinal sideline a little bit of life.
He was one more move away from setting this crowd on fire and sending some of them home, but he was caught by Austin Stieff out of Orlando, Florida, with a pretty good stick, I might add.
So the Cardinals take over at their own 47-yard line, leading 17-7, 11:21 to play fourth quarter. Cardinals bring McCoon, the tight end, in motion. Toss to Jamerson coming to the near side. He breaks one tackle, but is still going to lose yardage on the play. Steve's not going to get credit for the tackle, but he is the one who broke up that play. He got the hit on Jamerson behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and again, we're seeing the aggressive flow of the defense to that toss. It's probably setting something up on the counter side of the field, but right now what worked in the first half around the edges isn't working in the second half.
That was a loss of 3. They'll bring McCoon in motion again. Hand off to Terrence Brown this time. And he pushes it out for a gain of 4. But because of the loss on first down, that's going to make it 3rd and 9.
Cardinals also very well aware that the clock is in their favor, now inside of 10.5 minutes. So there's not a really big hurry on the offensive side of things, but picking up a couple first downs would certainly help a lot.
3rd and 9 here. McKenzie from the shotgun. Has time. Rolling to his right. Looking. And now he's just going to throw it away.
There was nowhere to go.
Nope.
Looking everywhere downfield, and everybody was covered. Mason was too far back behind the line of scrimmage to kick in his trademark scramble abilities, and it was a good call on his part just to dump it into the sidelines and live to fight another day. He's talking right now to Joseph Walker a bit. I think there was some confusion. Walker's kind of shaking his head and yelling at himself or maybe somebody else about how that play developed. My guess is he was the primary target, but it did not synchronize well.
Well, there's so many option routes in football now where the receiver can run 1 of 2 routes based on he reads the defense. Don't know if that's what happened there. There's the punt to the near side that kind of checks up and then goes out of bounds near the 25-yard line. Castaneda wanted that one to roll forward. Instead, it kind of came backward a little bit, but it is still going to put a long field in front of Davenport with 9:56 to play in the fourth quarter. SVSU leading by a score of 17-7.
It's so funny. A punter feels great if he gets the random bounce in his favor, and he feels terrible if the random bounce doesn't go in. But it's a football. It's an oblong object, and predicting which way it's going to go is impossible.
Davenport takes over at their own 28-yard line. Vandenhout back to pass. Here comes Kretzinger. They set up the screen to Harris, and it doesn't go anywhere. James McDonald did a great job, the redshirt freshman out of Warren De La Salle, playing at middle linebacker now after the injury to Alfred Daly. He makes the tackle for no gain.
Yeah, Henry was in on that stop as well. We haven't called Leonard's name a lot today. He's had a kind of a quiet defensive performance today, but he was in on that stop, and the screen went nowhere.
2nd and 10. Vandenhout pressured. Now he's going to run, and he's got some room. He's close to the sticks on the far side. So one of the other things you're seeing is that Vandenhout right now, it's kind of, if my first receiver isn't there,
he's gone.
Yeah, he's going to take off and run. That time he did pick up 7 or 8, so he's going to make it 3rd and short for Davenport.
You mentioned the Cardinals probably assigned somebody to quarterback containment. That time it was Harold Irby, but he kind of got caught too far upfield, and the quarterback got outside.
3rd and 2, incomplete. That was a very quick pass intended for Peyton Carter, and it did not get there. And yes, Sparky McEwen is going to send out the punt unit. Still 8:59 to play, and you're on your own side of midfield.
Receiver did not do his quarterback any favors there. Peyton Carter, the receiver, could have boxed out the defender a bit with his body. Instead, he just kind of stood there flat-footed. It was a fairly easy knockaway, and the Cardinals get to stop.
Good snap here, and it's an end-over-end punt. Fourth quarter, 17-7, Saginaw Valley on top. Now, can the Cardinals get something going on offense? It hasn't been there in the second half. Cardinals moved the ball well in the first half, but have struggled to do so here in the second half.
If you would have told me at halftime, when the Cardinals were up 17-0, that with 8:50 to go in the game, they would still have 17 points, I would not have been a buyer of that claim. But both credit to the Davenport defensive adjustments, and the Cardinals just haven't been able to bust through with with a big difference-making play that loosens up and keeps the defense honest. Right now that defense is selling out against the run.
Cardinals have it 1st and 10 from their own 19-yard line. McKenzie is going to go down and lose yardage. Great pressure coming off the edge that time by Miles Harris, the linebacker. As you said, Bill, they're selling out against the run.
A very unusual turn of events. I mean, Mason took the snap, faked the handoff, and just went to the ground.
Tackle and has the first down. That's a big play by Eric Kraft to not only make the catch in traffic, but then break a tackle to move the chains.
One of the few completed passes. In fact, in the second half.
That's the second one.
That's the second one. I knew there weren't a lot to choose from.
8 of 18 on the day. That one was a big one.
It was a good throw, too. The coverage was solid. It was just a really good throw on target.
Here, McKenzie keeps it himself, runs up the middle, breaks a tackle, and goes down at the 50-yard line. He got tripped up enough that he eventually fell down, but that's an 18-yard gain and back-to-back first downs for an SVSU offense that hasn't strung them together very well here in the second half.
On the prior play, they complete a pass to Kraft. So on this play, they come back and run Kraft in motion, and he keeps the attention of the defense going with him as a reminder, oh yeah, this guy just beat us. It gives a little bit of a seam, a gap for Mason to explode through, and he doesn't take much. You don't have to open the window very wide for him to come through.
So now 1st and 10 from right at midfield. McKenzie rolls to his right, and he breaks one tackle, breaks two tackles, but now takes a big hit from the backside as Davenport is doing a good job getting pressure on the quarterback.
I would vote in favor of no more hard hits on Mason McKenzie today. If we can take a poll here on the home crowd, because that was some solid contact coming from behind. You don't want to get him banged up before a big game next week. 6.5 to go here.
2nd and 13, McKenzie pump fakes, rolls to his right, and now throws it away. There's coverage everywhere. Might have had a chance to try to thread the needle, but McKenzie just throws it away to set up 3rd and 13.
Well, he's been coming off of his primary receiver read really fast throughout a lot of this game, but especially in this second half. Maybe it was a beat and a half before he went away from the intended receiver and started trying to check down. I think you got to hang in there and let the play develop just another pace or two and see if your receiver does get free.
3rd and 13. McKenzie, quarterback draw. Now it's a pump pass. It's caught by Brown. He's got the first down. So the Cardinals, because McKenzie is such a threat as a runner, they set him up where he explodes towards the line of scrimmage, just dumps it over. Terrence Brown makes the catch and picks up a huge conversion on 3rd and 13.
What a great play call. I don't know that I've seen them run that play all season. I don't remember it, where it's kind of the little jump pass. And if Brown hadn't kind of tripped himself up, he probably scores on that play.
It is a big conversion, and it allows the Cardinals to burn more clock, already leading 17-7. They've advanced down to the Davenport 35-yard line. McKenzie tossed to Brown, and he spins his way forward for a yard.
Keep an eye on when the Panthers start deciding to get rid of some of those timeouts
they've
been holding
remaining.
on to. Yep.
Again, remember, SVSU forced them to use one early in the third quarter where Davenport made a very late switch on offense. And so SVSU then makes a late switch on defense, and Davenport didn't have a chance to get the play off.
Play clock now down to 11 seconds, and the Cardinals just kind of now taking their positions. Use all the time you have.
2nd and 9, handoff to Brown again, dives forward for a gain of 2. as we go inside 5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Cardinals with some big third down conversions on this drive. One more here on 3rd and 7, and that would put a lot of pressure on Davenport.
For sure.
Saw the Cardinals go to Eric Kraft a moment ago. He is split wide to the left. Walker split wide to the right. And McCoon, the tight end, is in the slot to the left. Blitz coming. Cardinals see it. McKenzie breaks away. Here goes Mason McKenzie. The 10-5 touchdown Saginaw Valley.
That kid and those legs are amazing. There really wasn't that much room for him to run. You know, there are times when your quarterback draw is called and a pathway, a clear pathway opens up. There wasn't any room for him to break free, and there are defenders who right now are wondering, where did the guy go wearing number 10 while he's standing in the end zone?
Well, it just adds such another dimension because the blitz comes. You don't have to even go to the hot receiver. Like
you don't have time anyways.
There's a crease. McKenzie finds it, and then nobody's going to catch him. Huge touchdown. Makes it 3 scores again for Saginaw Valley, and now Davenport is clearly offsides on the extra point attempt.
Justin White decided, I'm going to start my rush on this extra point when I'm darn well ready. And he did it very, very early.
I think Ryan Brady wants to know his options. If he can take that on the kickoff, he might. Nope, they're just going to say move it 1.5 yards closer. So now this will be a 19-yard extra point attempt instead of a 20-yard extra point attempt. But SVSU, this is an important extra point because it pushes it back to a 17-point lead, and that would make it 3 scores. Good snap, good hold. Kick is on the way, and it is good. So SVSU on top 24-7, 4:06 to play, fourth quarter. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Your college experience is waiting. It's time to compete, time to learn, time to laugh, and time to unite. It's time to call the highest ranked dorms in the country home. The choice is yours. The time is now. The school is SVSU.
At Garber Buick, better is a daily effort. We start every day with better in mind. Better prices, payments, and selection. That's a big part of it, but not the whole picture. We're constantly improving to be a better place to shop, get service, and work. See Garber Buick in Saginaw and get a better payment on a new Buick Encore or Envision. The relentless pursuit of better. That's Garber Buick. State Street in Saginaw. Online, GarberBuick.com. Home of the low price guarantee.
Jets has been making the best Detroit-style pizza on the planet for over 40 years. Because we've always been committed to quality, like hand-pressed dough, fresh mozzarella, and sauce made from Mama Jet's secret family recipe. All baked to perfection for the thickest golden crunch. So go ahead, build your own Detroit-style pizza or order one of our specialties, like the all-meaty or Jet 10. Jets, better because it has to be.
StoreMaster Exteriors is your one-stop shop for top-notch windows, roofing, siding, gutters, decks, and installation. StoreMaster will transform your home into the house you've been dreaming of. Their team of installers are fully licensed and insured employees, not subcontractors. StoreMaster delivers exceptional workmanship and unparalleled customer satisfaction. StoreMaster consultants will help you make the right decision for protecting your home and maximizing your value. Financing options are available. Call today for your free estimate.
It's time to take advantage of the lowest tuition of any state school in Michigan. A school where 90% of our students receive scholarships or grants. The choice is yours. The time is now. The school is SVSU.
Ever since the Northwood loss, which the Cardinals, had one of those days where things didn't click, they lost to a team that they should have beaten. And since then, they've played good, solid football. Really good defensive football for sure. And they have done what it has taken to win these games. And next week will be an epic showdown in Big Rapids.
Castaneda with a high short kick. Fair catch called for and made at about the 27-yard line by Ethan Sutton.
I was thinking back to prior trips to Big Rapids in my first generation in the Cardinal radio booth when Jerry Kill was the coach. And there was a game where a blizzard had hit, and the snow was shin deep on the field. I mean, they could not plow the yard lines. You couldn't see anything. And I will forever remember a 97-yard slow-motion touchdown run by Ferris State's Chris Pullums to win the game, and nobody could catch him because nobody could run.
Here on first down, swing pass to the far side, caught by Harris, and Kamara does a good job to get him out of bounds, but now a late penalty flag comes in. There was just enough extra on that tackle to give the referee a reason to throw the flag.
He was in bounds when he was hit. I think that's a weak flag, but we won't burn too much energy on that one.
You know, that's one of those where, as you said, the initial contact is in the field.
If you're in the field when you're hit, then what happens out of bounds with your momentum is not the fault of the defender.
There's a little bit extra, but not a lot. It was enough to draw the flag, and that gives Davenport a first down. Vandenhout back to pass. Cardinals come with pressure. Hit him. That ball did not get back to the line of scrimmage. Now, that is a late hit coming from Davenport, and Harold Irby III is still down on the ground.
Well, he's pretending. He did a swan dive, and he threw his arms out to the side, and then he popped up, and he's got his teammates rather fired up.
That one was a very obvious
I think he's
penalty
laughing
against Davenport.
I'm not sure why the lineman felt the need to throw him to the ground. It wasn't in any way, shape, or form a dirty hit on the quarterback. It was just a clean tackle, and then a frustrated lineman came in and decided to make a little more out of it than it needed to be.
We'll get the explanation. I believe this is going to be just a single foul. And this Cardinal crowd, they're still waiting for the officials, but the sideline is fired up. It's got the crowd fired up. And now we await the explanation.
Oh, this might be 30 yards of penalties. Yeah.
So 2 penalties against Davenport. They got the intentional grounding. That ball was nowhere near the line of scrimmage.
That play came out very, very late.
So, and then
the dead ball foul, the personal foul, means they both get enforced. And Davenport's had a hard enough time moving the ball in the positive direction, now gets it moved back quite a bit further in the negative direction.
And grounding is a loss of down penalty.
Yeah, that was a disaster all the way around if you're a fan of Davenport.
It is now 2nd and 37 for Davenport.
You don't hear that a lot.
Vandenhout back to pass. He's under pressure. Penalty flag on the play. Vandenhout loses the football. It goes out of bounds.
That's going to be a touchback, and that's going to be Cardinal ball.
Which side of the pylon did it go on? Was it on the near side of the pylon or the far side of the pylon?
There's also a flag in the backfield for holding, but that most likely will not matter here momentarily.
So if this is through the pylon, it's a safety. So the officials have conferred.
There.
So it went out of bounds in the field of play. It was right by the pylon.
Very, very close.
So now your SVSU is going to decline the penalty, of course, because now it's going to be 3rd and 49. I am not joking, folks. It is legitimately 3rd and 49.
Somebody take a picture of the scoreboard because you're not going to see that more than once a decade.
Vandenhout from the shotgun, and he just hands it off to Harris. He runs behind the official, and now Eli Gordon knocks him down at about the 14-yard line.
Harris gets up talking to the Cardinal bench for reasons that I will not ever figure out.
Well, now what do you do if you're Sparky McEwen? You're down 3 scores.
Yeah, you can't go for it here. It's completely, I mean, I see they're leaving the offense on the field.
I was going to say,
I
don't know that you're going to have to throw what essentially is a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Because now it is 4th and 35.
Yeah, this is punt territory. You know the game's done.
And I get it. You want to do everything you can to win.
They're going to call a timeout. Maybe talk about wisdom here in this situation.
2:58 to play. Again, if I'm on the Davenport side, I understand the perspective of, look, if we lose this game, our chances of a GLIAC title go out the window. Our chances of the playoffs go out the window. So I understand saying, hey, we've got to try to take a chance, even though it's 4th and 35, because it's our only path to victory.
Yep.
But
barring a penalty, they're highly unlikely to convert.
Correct.
But.
And so, because again, the winner of this game stays alive in the hunt for the GLIAC title. The winner of this game stays alive in the hunt for the playoffs. The loser of this game is effectively eliminated from each of those, barring something truly extraordinary in the final 2 weeks of the season. Because SVSU plays Ferris State next week. Ferris State, the only team without a loss in conference play. And then Davenport plays Ferris the following week.
And they have now made the decision to go ahead and punt the ball away.
So they do bring out the punt unit with 2:58 to play. Davenport trailing 24-7. It is 4th and 35.
Will he get it to the first down marker? That's the big question.
It is a nice high spiraling kick. Terrence Brown backpedals and takes a fair catch around the 40-yard line. 2:52 to play, and SVSU will take over. And Mason McKenzie is going back out there at quarterback. Now again, SVSU, I imagine, is not going to put the ball in the air again, because even if you don't get a first down here, you're going to give the ball back to Davenport with almost no time left on the clock, and the Panthers have just one timeout remaining at their disposal. This has been an impressive performance by SVSU today. Offense didn't do a lot in the second half, but when they needed it, they got that 181-yard touchdown drive, and that's going to allow SVSU to win this game, barring something extraordinary. Handoff to Jamerson, running to the right side, lowers his shoulder, gets out to about the 41-yard line, gain of 3. Clock continues to run.
If it's possible to put up a quiet 329 yards on offense, I kind of feel like that's what the Cardinals have done today, and they've held Davenport to 141.
SVSU has been so good defensively all season, and they definitely showed up again today. Cardinals with a pair of interceptions, one by Micah Kretzinger, another by DJ Volts. Almost had a safety a moment ago on the strip sack where the ball went out of bounds just inside the pylon. Handoff here to Terrence Brown trying to pick his way. He did get out to about the 43-yard line for a gain of 2. And that is now taking us to the 2-minute timeout. SVSU leading 24-7. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
Sure, player of the game.
Better payments, better service. You will do better at Garber Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bay Road in Saginaw. Getting a better payment on your new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram truck is a big part of how you'll do better, but it's not the whole picture. Garber is constantly improving to be a better place to shop, get service, and work, because being better is a daily effort. The relentless pursuit of better. That's Garber Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bay Road in Saginaw. Online, garbercdjr.com.
At Covenant Healthcare, we take caring for kids very seriously. That's why we've established Covenant Children's Hospital. We have the region's only pediatric emergency care center and intensive care unit, and a birth center with a level 3 regional neonatal intensive care unit.
They have stickers! Stickers!
We're dedicated to providing extraordinary care to infants and children so they can get back to the serious business of being kids.
Your college experience is waiting. It's time to compete, time to learn, time to laugh, and time to unite. It's time to call the highest ranked dorms in the country home. The choice is yours. The time is now. The school is SVSU.
Big showdown in Big Rapids next Saturday when SVSU will take on Ferris State at Ferris State. Ferris State, the only team without a conference loss. They do have one non-conference loss as they lost to Pittsburgh State to start the season. 3rd and 5, handoff to Jamerson, and he picks up a couple, will not have the first down. And Davenport will now spend its final timeout, stops the clock with 1:54 to play here in the fourth quarter. And SVSU will bring out the punt unit.
Not only have we had our traditional radio audience with us today, but I believe we've also had the Flow Sports audience who are watching the live stream and hearing the two of us faces made for radio. It's been good having you folks with us. Thanks for supporting Division II football and your team, whether you're an SVSU alum somewhere around the world, or maybe you're a Davenport fan from the west side of the state, checking in on Flow Sports. It's good to have you with us.
And it has been a good football game, especially if you like defense. Cardinals moved the ball pretty well in the first half. With the exception of one drive, they haven't done much in the second half, but that one drive resulted in a touchdown when the Cardinals needed it. And that has pushed it back to a 3-score margin. Oh, bad snap here. And the punter goes down, holds on to the football. That was Castaneda. And so if you're Davenport, there's now a glimmer that returns because you're going to take over deep in SVSU territory at about the 31-yard line.
That, my friends, was not the lapse in concentration and execution that the Cardinals needed to close out this game.
Looked like a good snap.
Yeah, it was just poorly handled. Fortunately, the game is out of reach, but you don't need this kind of drama.
So Vandenhout back to pass. Cardinals rush just 3. Vandenhout still throwing to the far side and incomplete, intended for Preston Smith. So the Cardinals going to play with 7.
I've been keying in a little bit on Leonard Henry to see what the offensive line has been doing to keep him out of the backfield. And now I have my answer. 2 and sometimes 3 shirts are assigned to number 1, who leads the nation in sacks. And, boy, he's going to be sore tomorrow. This young man has been double-teamed and triple-teamed all day long.
2nd and 10. Cardinals rush 4 this time. Leonard Henry among those chasing Vandenhout, who just throws it up. And that one is incomplete. Could not have been caught in the field of play anyway.
Henry finally got through, was not going to be denied. And there's a freshman quarterback who will now be seeing number 1 in his nightmares and just heaved that ball for the parking lot. He wanted no part of what was coming his way. Those dreadlocks were flying in the wind.
So now 3rd and 10 coming up for Davenport. 1:35 to play. SVSU still holding on to a 24-7 advantage. Davenport will have 3 receivers wide to the left this time. Vandenhout back to pass. Throws it underneath. Caught by Smith. Good job by SVSU, as first it was Trowers and then it was LeDuc who finished off the tackle. So it's now going to be 4th down coming up for Davenport, and the Panthers are out of timeouts.
1:15 to go. And now, you know, this Cardinal defense, which still has its starters in, they do not want to give up any more points.
Now SVSU, I think, just taking a timeout on defense.
In case you were wondering about their mindset, right? I mean, this is not mess around time. This is let's close this out the right way time.
So looking at what this win opens up for SVSU, the Cardinals they came out this week with the alphabetical list of the top 10 teams in Super Region 3, SPSU is on that list. So we don't know where they stand among those 10, although you could probably come up with some intelligent hypotheses. But the Cardinals are among those top 10 teams, and the Cardinals already have a win on the road, mind you, over one of the other teams.
Indianapolis.
In the top 10, Indianapolis. The Cardinals now will get a win over Davenport, who has been in the others receiving votes category in the coaches.
It's a quality win, any way you look at it.
And then they'll go to Ferris State next week with a chance to, again, share the GLIAC title with a win, and then a win on Senior Day. Vandenhout takes off and runs. He takes a huge hit from Brandon Rawls, but he does pick up the first down. What this means is with 2 weeks to go, following this game, SVSU with a win has put themselves in a position to share the GLIAC title and to make the playoffs. Vandenhout throws to the far side. Jump ball. And caught. Preston Smith. Touchdown, Davenport.
That was just a really good job on the receiver's part of high-pointing that ball. It was thrown up for grabs. He went up and got it. And I think, was that Peyton Carter who came down with that catch? And
it was Preston Smith who caught it.
Okay, Smith on the reception for the touchdown. And Davenport gets one more before time expires. The Cardinals will have about 48 seconds for their final possession here coming up after the extra point and probably an onside kick.
So Gilo comes on. Extra point is on the way, and it is good. So Davenport gets a touchdown. It's 24-14, 48 seconds to play. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
The GLIAC is the Conference of Champions. Since its inception in 1972, GLIAC teams have won 53 national championships and countless more individual championships.
Throughout the GLIAC, passionate fans come support our athletes in 21 NCAA-sponsored sports.
Just as important as being champions on the field.
The pool.
The court. The course.
The track. GLIAC student athletes are champions in the classroom and the community.
The GLIAC is.
The GLIAC is.
The GLIAC is.
The Conference of Champions.
Better is an everyday effort at Garber Chevrolet in Saginaw. Everything we do with better in mind. Better prices, payments, and selection. They're a big part of it, but not the whole picture. We're constantly improving to be a better place to shop, get service, and work.
See Garber Chevrolet in Saginaw and get a better payment on a new Chevy Silverado or better savings on a new Chevy Equinox.
The relentless pursuit of better. That's Garber Chevrolet, Gratiot Road in Saginaw, home of the low price guarantee.
The Detroit formula for making something great is simple. Hard work. Make it good, then make it better. Better, like Jet's Detroit-style pizza. Jet's. Better, because it has to be.
Cardinals have dominated this contest, and they lead by 10. It feels like they actually lead by a lot more than that. But Davenport gets a kind of a last-minute bonus touchdown before they head back over to the Grand Rapids area. And let's see how they play out this onside kick. It's not going to happen until the Cardinals now see the formation and get to strategize a bit on how best to defend against it. And JJ, I don't want to be the guy who's always against rule changes and things like that. I like this version of the kicking game so much better than the new NFL version, especially when it comes to onside kicks. How on earth did anybody in the competition committee room in the NFL say, you know what we should do? For the onside kick, we ought to make them tell the other team when they're going to do that. And somebody said, that's a great idea, Jerry Jones. Why don't we do whoever it was? It makes no sense to me. Obviously, we're going to have that happen here. But you could do it at any time you want to at the college level without having to tell your opponent. So this is my preferred version.
I have to say, as a Chicago Bears fan who also remembers multiple eras, including the Devin Hester era,
yeah,
everything that you have taken away
yes.
in the return game I understand the reasoning for player safety and the rest of it. However, I personally find that missing from the game.
Yeah, and it also lends the question, is player safety not important at the college level? Huh, interesting. Let's have that conversation in the competition committee room at both levels.
Davenport coming on. And they do try a squib kick, and then SVSU just falls on the man who recovered the squib kick. I think that was Christian Ellison.
It's a very poorly executed onside kick.
And so now SVSU can come out and take a knee. But to give you some perspective of what this means nationally, in the coaches poll, 5 of the top 7 teams in the country are in Super Region 3.
Wow.
So you've got Ferris State number 2, Washita Baptist number 3, Pittsburgh State number 5, Harding number 6, Grand Valley number 7. They're all in Super Region 3, the same region as SVSU. Now, what's interesting is that Washita Baptist played on Thursday night. They lost to a previously winless team.
Is that right? I did not know that.
So
that's what we call a bad loss.
That is a bad loss. It also creates a lot of extra intrigue because you had almost penciled in 2 teams from that league to make the playoffs. That takes that away a little bit. And for SVSU, you've got to win over Indianapolis. For the Cardinals to make the playoffs, they're going to have to beat Ferris. That would mean you've gotten a win over Ferris, so you would have head-to-head wins over 2 of the other teams in your region, and that comes into play because you would then be eligible to make the playoffs ahead of those other 2 teams. And that is all courtesy of SVSU winning today by a final score of 24-14. Our Meyer player of the game, the All-American linebacker Micah Kretzinger, had 8 total tackles, 3 tackles for loss for a total of 19 yards lost. Also had a huge interception in the first half. So Micah Kretzinger, our Meyer player of the game. SVSU wins 24-14. Back in a moment. You are listening to Saginaw Valley State University football.
And do you think there's any route by which a close loss next week they still get in?
No, not with the region and everything else. I mean, or a lot of unexpected losses, right? Yeah.
Just come on.